Yo, 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 what's going on, everybody? Welcome to a DFS strategy video for the 2025 Genesis Invitational. My name is Eric, and I'm here at SweetSpotDFS to go over everything you're going to want to know on how to hit the target, or how to hit the optimal lineup this week. Target the optimal is the tagline, and that's what was stuck in my head. Anyways, I'll be going over course and tournament information. I'll also be going over the pass optimal and GPP winning lineups. We'll cover a review of the WM Phoenix Open from last week. That'll tie into what we'll be doing moving forward from there, which is looking at the bucket system and the Marquee Tee Times, because that is a very specific process to the SweetSpot process. And I want to review last week's tournament to show you how successful it was, because I want you to believe in it this week. So very unique situation happening this week. We have Torrey Pines South Course once again. We had that during the Farmers Insurance Open, but I'll get more into that during the course and tournament information part of the video. Some things that I like to do right away in the beginning, just remind you of giveaways. I know it takes time to go through this stuff. These are laundry list items. You can go down in the description if this is on replay. So if it's not live for you and it's on replay, you can actually use the timestamps down below just to skip ahead. But I want to reward those that want to be rewarded. Basically, those that participate on this channel, who are subscribed, who comment, like AJ Love here. What's going on, AJ? I want to reward you guys for participating on the channel. I'm still, you know, one of the low guys on the totem pole when it comes to how many subs that I have. So I'm just trying to build up the channel. That's all. And one way to do that here is just to ask you guys to participate. So be subscribed to the channel. And by the way, a monthly giveaway of $100 will be given if we reach 800 subscribers on the channel total. That just means 7 more. So 7 more of you guys, I need to subscribe before I give away $100 at the end of the month. So I will run a giveaway the Tuesday of the new month, whatever that tournament is. I will give away the $100 if we reach the sub goal. Now, if we don't reach a sub goal for the month, the monthly goal, I give away a t-shirt out. And I have 4 different t-shirts that I can give you. So if you already have one, you have options of different ones that I can send your way. So that's just my way. Again, it's just rewarding anyone who participates on the channel. I don't want to go a month without doing some sort of giveaway. But of course, I always have my weekly $5 giveaways. So again, all that requires you to do is comment down in the comment section when this is on replay. Anybody here in the live chat who does, you know, if you're here for the roll calls that I have, because that's the other way you get entries into the giveaway, you can get another entry by commenting after it goes live, which I only had 2 people comment. So everybody who was here in the live video last week, minus those 2 people that did, you missed out on another entry that you could have gotten. And if you didn't already know, there's something in the comment section that will give you an opportunity to get another entry. So literally, it's just, if you participate on the channel, if you take your time, I'm going to reward you. Like, I really appreciate those that take their time, that are here watching all that stuff. So I'm going to reward you one way or the other. That's been there since the beginning of the season, by the way. So I don't know if you guys have ever seen it, but it's there. It's in the description of the video. What's going on, John? What's going on, Cody? Nice to see you guys. Again, I'll do roll calls. I'm going to try to do roll calls at every 1 hour mark. So if you're here within an hour, within that 50 minutes to hour 10, hour 20, I will be doing a roll call then. So that's how you can do the giveaway, or get into the giveaway. And let's just run one right now. We have a weekly giveaway to do. I had 17 total entries. Once I hit yes, we will have our winner. Jim Lemoyne, congrats, man. You are $5 richer. I think I know where to send it to you. But either way, how about you reach out to me? Let me know where I can send it, whether it's Google Pay, Venmo, PayPal, whatever. I'll send it to you. So That was the giveaway. I want to actually go through some things when it comes to the website. I created a new tool, so let's just go over the website right now. By the way, there's a cheat sheet available to you. All you got to do is go to Fantasy Tools. I need to change my, here you go, that works. So you just go to Fantasy Tools and say, I need to change my whole overlay. I will eventually. But go to the Fantasy Tools. There's a cheat sheet. I'm just going to open up these individually. There's an optimizer that you can request from me. And then there's a new tool called Strokes Gain Stats. I'm going to showcase that right now because I will be using the past optimals and past salary builds tools for the past optimal and GPP winning lineups. I don't think I have videos. I used to have a ton of videos. I used to put all my YouTube videos there, but it just bogs down the website. So I took them off. There are articles, or a couple articles you can read about the bucket system. And then I do have a PGA Tour schedule, which is just another tool. So actually I'll drill down on that too. The cheat sheet. Everything that I'm going to be covering in this video. Now this is the new cheat sheet that is still a work in progress. It's kind of under construction, if you will. But if you scroll down to this cheat sheet right here and you click this button, I mean, you can use this box right here, but it's limiting. But you can go ahead and drill down on that, and it will bring you to this page. And everything that I'll be covering in this video, I will have a similar page, but you can follow along with me. Not only do you have the dream sheet, but you also have the bucket system. So you can follow along with me throughout this video. That's the cheat sheet. I'm just going to close out of that. Optimizer. You'll get a little pop-up right now that says, hey, do you want to use the SweetSpotDFS optimizer? You would put your email in here and request now. It'll take me some time because this gets sent to my email and I have to read the email first before I send it to you. Like, I need your email address. So that's what you provide when you put your email address here, and I will send you the optimizer, which if you are unfamiliar with, I don't have currently up, but I will. Give me 2 seconds. Looks like this. And I will be building lineups at the end of this video using this optimizer. Now, why I like the optimizer, it uses all the bucket system rules that I have. It uses the entire SweetSpot process. So that is the optimizer. And again, I'll be building lineups, so you'll be able to see it live in action if you want it. Again, just go to the optimizer page. If you accidentally close that pop-up, just refresh, and it should pop up again for you. There you go. But yes, strokes gain stats. Every data site out there has a strokes gain stat or a page. You can now do this on SweetSpotDFS.com. So what you will see, you'll have two boxes, two tables, really. You'll have this top table, and that's what's in the field this week. So you can obviously see that when you scroll up and down. You're going to get everyone in there. I'm not sure what the blank is. I'll have to remove that. But anyways, Scotty Scheffler, Rory, you got everything. Now, the table down here, this is just the raw stats for each event. So Thomas Dietrich last week at the WM Phoenix Open scored 156 DraftKings points. He gained 3.434 off the tee, and all these other stats. That is his cumulative stat profile for each of these stats. So off the tee, that's all 4 rounds. That's a total. You wanted to see what he did last week. Basically, what you'd want to do is go into here, and we can clear everything out and just put in WM Phoenix Open. Like if you wanted it round by round average, I should say. So go ahead and do that, and we can either, I don't think I can drill down here. Oh yeah, you can drill down here. So everything is pretty much a filter, which is lovely. So I think if I drill down on that, nah, it doesn't work that way. But if I drill down on Thomas Dietrich, you can see what his round by round average is. So off the tee, basically it's 3.434 divided by 4, and that's what you'll get right here. But that's just one filter. There are several filters that you can do. So if you wanted to, not take a season, not take a tournament, and you wanted to use this date filter, you certainly can do that. And you can see the rounds will update, the strokes gained average will update, all that stuff will happen. So it's just like any of the other data websites that you have out there. You can even drill down in here and just select a date, which is pretty helpful. This goes into 2025 or the end of 2025. You can put whatever filter you want on here. Now, I will say this, there isn't anything under more filters. I don't have anything here yet, but in the future, I will. Currently, the only filters you have is on this page. You can select the tournament you want to look at. If you want to select everything, you can obviously hit the clear selections here, or if you want golfers, you can also select the clear here. But if you wanted to put someone in, like say Rory, if I can spell his name correctly, all you gotta do is drill down and you're only gonna see Rory from December 1st on. But if I move this date filter back, then you're gonna get more of his events that show up. So basically anything you want to find strokes gain wise, you can find on this website, SweetSpotDFS.com. There should be a link in the description. So this is available to you guys as well as the other tools. Those are kind of the only housekeeping items that I need to do. Let's go ahead and get into the course and tournament information. And I will do another shameless plug to the website in case you just jump in here from the timestamp. Scroll down on SweetSpotDFS.com, go to the quick links that you see right here, drill down on the tournament fact sheets. This is where I like to go. Actually, let me go backwards. I don't need to. Never mind. We'll stay right here. Go to the tournament fact sheets, scroll down till you see PGA Tour under the 2025 Genesis Invitational. Just drill down on that, and here we go. We get the tournament fact sheets that come from the gcsaa.org. They work in conjunction with the PGA Tour. You will see it's at the Torrey Pines South Golf Course. Again, the Genesis, they had to move the tournament from the Riviera Country Club because of the Pacific Palisade fires. And they moved it to basically San Diego, La Jolla, California. They will play all 4 rounds of golf on the Torrey Pines Golf Course. And of course, you can see a lot of the other stuff that's on here. They actually switched it around, which is kind of interesting. They are going to play this as a par 72. If you didn't know, they played as a par 71 during US Opens. I was kind of curious to see what they would do for the setup, because this isn't the typical Torrey Pines like Farmers Insurance Open type of event where they would play the North Course and the South Course. They're just playing the South Course all 4 days. I was wondering if they're going to make it really, really tough and make it a par 71, but they kept it a par 72, which is great. The scoring will be slightly lower than what you'd see at a US Open. The yardage is the same. And I think everybody's been saying, Thursday afternoon weather seems to be pretty nasty going into Friday. Actually, all day Thursday is supposed to rain. I don't know exactly how much the wind is going to pick up. Something to keep track of throughout the week. This is Tuesday night. Wednesday night, you'll really want to look into that. Or if you're an early riser, then Thursday morning before you finalize your lineups, you'll want to look at the wind. I just saw something from Cody Gamble. Are you treating this like Farmers 2.0? I will get to that. And hello, Austin Reed and Shelly Carnum. What's going on, man? So, yeah, it's Torrey Pines. So if you want to use that golf course for all of your data purposes, so be it. Do it. You want to use the Farmers Insurance Open? I got no issue. Just remember there's a North Course that's involved. If you can exclude the North Course, perfect. But then that's obviously Torrey Pines South Course. And then there was the US Open. There's a couple that you could probably use just to see what stat profiles might work out for you. Of course, I only care about the turf. Well, I shouldn't say only, but one of the primary things I care about is the turf grass. I want to know what the greens are like, the rest of everything. You see there's a ryegrass overseed. This golf course in the rough, you have got Kikuya. Obviously, there's an overseed in there. I honestly do not know what kind of mix it's going to be. Like when grass comes out of dormancy, it will grow, and basically weed out the overseed. Sometimes golf courses or superintendents, the grounds crew will go out and they'll punch holes into the grass to try to pull out some of the cores and allow the grass that's underneath, the native grass, grow a little bit faster, a little bit easier. I don't know if they did that. I have no idea what season Kikuya, really grows in. I do know temperatures are supposed to be somewhat cold, kind of like Pebble Beach a couple weeks ago. So you're gonna get like 50 and 60-degree days at Torrey. So I bet you Kikuya isn't like a very prominent grass right now, but I think what was it? Ben Griffin showed a video as to how thick the grass is, and it's pretty thick. The rough, that is. So this golf course is already hard to hit fairways, or it's hard to hit fairways as it is. And golfers are going to have to be hitting out of hay, pretty much. It's pretty thick. You can see it's 4 inches. I think last week, the rough that you saw, actually, let's just take a look. I can't remember what it was, but it was thin. It was not very long. It was short, I should say, not thin. They didn't even give you like inches for rough, but it was short. So very different from last week. Actually, do they have the Farmers Insurance open? Did they grow it? No, it's about the same. So, okay, looks like you can use most of the Farmers Insurance open data if you want to use it. Other than that, I got nothing else to really talk about the golf course. I can actually go into, let me pull something up right now. The Farmers Insurance Open. I usually do I map out the golf course, and I didn't really think about this before jumping on, but it's not like this is that big of a deal. I map out the golf course just to see what shot shapes matter. And as you can see, this is a golf course that faders do pretty well at. I shouldn't say you can tell from this. The mapping that I've done showed that there's an advantage for golfers who fade the golf ball. Now, that doesn't mean you have to absolutely play anyone who fades the golf ball. If it's like you're weighing between 2 golfers, if you want it to be your tiebreaker, I think that's just fine. So if you didn't know this on the cheat sheet, I actually still have the cheat sheet open. You can see shot shape under column P. Now, I don't have it for all golfers, but I have it for most golfers. You can see if they fade the ball, if that's their primary shot shape, or if they draw the ball. So again, you can find that on the cheat sheet, which you can find at the website, SweetSpotDFS.com. So yes, that's kind of what I have for mapping. Now, when it comes to the tournament, I'm going to use my sheet, my dream sheet. This is also available to you guys. Strength of field is 725, which is fantastic. This is like a major-esque type of strength of field. Obviously, we don't have all of the best golfers in the world. You've got some that are still in live, but still going to play tough. So if you want to use strength of field, if it goes by the old way of scoring strength of field, I by all means do so. This is very, any major championship, you're going to have 700 plus. Even all the signature events, you'll have 700 plus. So you can use that as a data point. There are 72 golfers in the field as of today. At least that's what I saw. 72. Your cut is top 50 in ties. So all the player-hosted signature events, so the Tiger tournament, the Jack tournament, and the Arnold tournament, or different way to say that is the Genesis Invitational, the Arnold Palmer Invitational, and the Memorial tournament. Those 3 tournaments will always have a cut, at least for the foreseeable future. Top 55 or top 50 in ties, plus any golfer within 10 shots of the lead. So just to throw this out there, let's say the leader is at even par. That's probably not gonna happen. The leader will probably be like -6, -7, or something like that by the end of Friday. Could be worse, actually, depending on how the weather is and if they play through the weather, all that kind of stuff. But let's just pretend for this example, it's even par. The leader is at even par, and let's just say there's like 5 people tied at even. Last place is 9 over par. So everybody's within even to 9 over par. That means everybody makes the cut. Everybody would then make the cut, despite it saying top 50 in ties, because they're within 10 shots. I mean, even if it was 10 over par, last place was 10 over par, everyone still makes the cut because it's within 10 shots of the lead. So keep that in mind. This could be either a very small cut, like maybe 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people get cut, or it could literally be all 22 outside of 50th place could get cut. Just depends on what the leader's gonna, like where the leader is. If it's someone who's kind of running away on Thursday and Friday, then yeah, then a lot of people are going to get cut when it comes to top 50 and ties. And I shouldn't say a lot of people, 22. So almost, I was going to say almost a third, but that's not the correct math. Either way, keep that all in mind. You know, I think it's still worthwhile to play your aggressive golfers. This is a DraftKings contest. I mean, this is primarily a DraftKings podcast. Also, I should mention, if you are a FanDuel user, I can update the optimizer to include FanDuel data. So I figured that out the other week. Somebody had reached out and was like, hey, can you update this for FanDuel stuff? I didn't know how to at the time. I do now. So we can do that if you guys want a FanDuel one. When you do request the optimizer, I will most likely send you a DraftKings one. If you email me back, if you reply to that email and say, hey, I want a FanDuel one, I will send you the FanDuel one. So just keep that in mind. Anyways, I really have nothing else to talk about when it comes to the golf course and the tournament information. So we're going to move right into, just double checking here. Actually, let me catch up with the chat before I move on. Everything's good. What's going on, Phil? All right, let's get into the pass optimal and GPP winning lineups. So I'm going to showcase the pass optimals as well as the past salary builds tools that you can see under the fantasy tools at SweetSpotDFS.com. So that will load in the data and pull in the pass optimal and GPP winners. So I already have the Genesis Invitational loaded in, but if you just were here for the tournament and golf course information, the Genesis Invitational is usually played at the Riviera Country Club, but it is now at Torrey Pines South Course. Something to keep in mind. I will say this. We can look at both pass optimal and GPP winners for both tournaments. I don't know why I said both twice, but hey, it is what it is. I'm going to look at the Genesis Invitational, at least for last year, because it was a signature event last year. We could probably just look at the Genesis Invitational for all years, because it is one of those tournaments that have had a high strength of field for most of the time. Let me just double check. So yeah, last year was the first time it was really a small field, 70, 71 golfers. But yeah, let's double check. I just want to double check. So in 2023, your strength of field was 741. So yeah, it was up there. 2022, 684. Yeah, we could look at most Genesis Invitationals. It's just going to be a little bit different because it is a limited field. And we're not even going to have a limited field for the farmers. Like if I were to look at the farmers information. So we're kind of in a weird spot. We are in a weird spot. Now here's the thought process. If again, I was just talking about, you know, this is Torrey Pines South Golf Course as opposed to Riviera Country Club. So I just read the chat. Let me answer this first and I'll get back. New course though, yep. What's the reason to look at the tournament and not the course? Well, I don't want to spend a long time on the golf course. Most of the time when people do golf course, analysis, there's no payoff at the end of it. So there's no telling you like, these are the golfers that are really going to, do well. And currently I don't have tools to show you like which golf courses, which golfers are going to do well at this golf course outside of course history and tournament history, basically, which I will talk about later on in this video. For now, just going over the golf course and the tournament information, I guess I did talk about the golf course just when it comes to mapping, which golf course, like which golfers have a little bit of an advantage. Obviously, it's going to be your long hitters. That's kind of, I guess I didn't mention that during the course and tournament information when I was going over the tournament fact sheets, but that is something to keep in mind. It's 7,700 yards long, so golfers who hit the ball really far are going to do well. They're going to have an advantage. Just put it that way. It's not that we know they're going to do well. They're just going to have an advantage. Golfers who fade the golf ball, I think, also have a bit of an advantage at this golf course as well. But moving back to the Pass Optimal and GPP winners, the conundrum that comes with this week is you have the Torrey Pines South course, which is primarily played it's played at the Farmers Insurance Open as well as US Opens, the rotunda of US Opens. So we could look at that for US Opens and just see what Pass Optimal and GPP winners look like at those events. But then this is also a limited field, so there's only 72 golfers in it. It's really a lot of weird stuff, And I don't know exactly, let's just start here. We're going to we'll do a deep dive, okay? We're going to look at the Genesis Invitational first. And if you didn't know this, I've added, not on this one, on the other tool that I have. Actually, let's go to that tool first. I'm all over the place. I also have the Genesis Invitational pulled up here. This tool, the historic salary builds, allows you to look at the GPP winner or winning lineup, the optimal lineup, and the sweet spot optimal. If you don't select any of them, you will see all of them. So I've added filters here because one of my lifetime members reached out and was like, hey, I'd like if you added some salary bars to this. So it doesn't look super cute right now, but we'll obviously make this look a little bit, this will look better in the future. But basically we can look at our max salaries, the min salaries in each of these lineups, salary used. So this is where I actually think it's really interesting. So I'm going to actually drill out of that, and I'm going to go by salaries used from top to bottom. So this is all of the lineups that I have for the Genesis Invitational. You can see there's 19 total lineups that I have, and I think it dates back to 2019. So again, that includes a GPP winning lineup, optimal lineup, and sweet spot. All three of those lineups each year from 2019 to now. 19 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4 of them, which are the optimal lineup. Only 4 of them used 49,500 or less, or I should say less than 49,500. So 19 minus 4 is 15. So that means 15 lineups use 49,500 and above for the Genesis Invitational. And obviously we just went over tournament information. We saw the strength of field is relatively the same every single year. So 49,500 up. That is my suggestion to you guys. Look how many times $50,000 was used for not only just there's your GPP winning laps, 2021, 2022, 2023, and 2020. Your sweet spot optimals, we've got two $50,000 used for salary, as well as, 49.9, 49.8. But your sweet spot is between 49.6 and above. And that is primarily what I'm going to try to advocate for most of the time. I guess, well, I'm not going to use that right now. I was going to say we could look at the Farmers Insurance, but let's just stay here for now. Just to go under GPP winning lineup, your common build here. So I've got 5 instances or 5 GPP winning lineups from 2020 to 2024 for the Genesis Invitational. All but one used $50,000 of the salary. All but one. Your most common lineup build was a 10-9-8-7-7-7 approach. You could also go 10-9-8-7-6-6, 10-9-9, 3 6s. That seems more plausible this year. And then if you wanted to go balanced, that's also up there. It's a 20% hit. But let's see, 2024, that was your 10-9-8-7-7-7. Trying to find where the 10-9-9-6-6. That's 2023, so that was not too long ago. So if you didn't want to look at that, you can look at the optimal lineup if you want, but obviously the optimal lineup left a lot of money on the table in a lot of these. So I don't know exactly if that's doable, But just to show you, the most common optimal lineup was 10, 9, 7, 7, 7, 6. Here's one thing that I think is really interesting. If you wanted to go to salary used and just, you know, kind of cut out weird lineups, you could go 49.3 to 50,000 and just see what lineup builds you see the most. And these are your optimal lineups, by the way. Again, you can drill out of that. The filters stay on, so 49.3 up and above, and you can see what your most common lineup build is. It's 10, 9, 8, 7, 7, 7, followed by 10, 8, 8, 7, 7, 6, 10, 9, 3 sevens and a 6, and then the common one I always say 10, 9, 8, 7, 7, 6. So that's for your Genesis Invitational. Let's look at the Farmers Insurance, just because, you know, I almost feels like, you know what? I can type them all in. We can type all of these in. Which US Open was it that was played at Torrey? Was it 2023? I will know as soon as I see the winner. Jon Rahm, 2021. Okay. 2021. Got it. So let's go to the 2021 US Open. I can't, unfortunately, I can't just pull out the US Open. I'll just go 2021, and we can take a look at the three lineups built there. 10, 9, 8, 7, 7, 6 for your SweetSpot optimal. Your optimal left $400 on the table. It used the $11,200 Jon Rahm, by the way. That's what's really nice about the max and min salaries. That was a 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 6 approach. But your GPP winner used used a 9, 9, 8, 7, 7, 7 approach. So there are plenty of options you can take. I am always going to be privy to the 10, 9, 8, 7. And then I just want to know, am I going to play another 6 or am I going to play 2 6s? This week seems like a 2 6 type of week. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 6. But the one thing that the lifetime member mentioned to me, just wanted to see how often, you know, you see a max salary higher than 12,000. You know, let's say, because we have Scotty here, right? He's 12,300. So if I went to the max salary and go 12, let's just go 12,000. I can't do it perfect. It's fine. We can look 41 times we've used this, but we can actually remove some events. Let's select all, but then remove the Tour Championship and take a look at all of the events. Wow. Leaving a lot of money on the table. That's pretty crazy. The only reason I want to look at this is just to see what your salary structure would be. If you're using a $12,000 golfer, this is kind of the reason why the user reached out to me and wanted to see, like, because he was trying to build lineups with Scotty and he didn't know what would work best. So if you're going the Scotty route this week, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 6 is the most common. Then 10, 8, 7, 7, 7, 6, 10, 9, 3 sevens, and, or I'm sorry, 2 sevens and 2 6s. So basically starting with a 10, 9 and just dropping to the 7K range, or even if you wanted to go 10, 10, that works with several 6Ks. But we can even, you know, make this a bit more specific. I don't like leaving a lot of money on the table. So this is what I would look at. Just go like 49 up and we can see what it really looks like. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 6 is the most common. Then 10, 9, 2 sevens, 2 6s, 10, 10, 4 6s. That's crazy. That's really crazy. Which lineup was that? So again, you can use all of these as filters. We have the Open Championship from last year. Okay, so we probably ignore that one. And then we have the Masters when we go 10, 8, 8, 7, 6, 6. But this is probably more close to what we should expect. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 6. Anyways, you guys can mess around with this. I think it's pretty cool. You like the double 10? Reading up on the chat right now, Cody Gamble, Harris English actually lost strokes off the tee at the Farmers this year. Did he really? That he did. Look at that. You were not wrong. Again, this is the strokes gain page that's on the SweetSpotDFS.com website. So you can go and check yourself. But you're right, he did. So anyways, you know, this week is going to be like, do you play Scottie Scheffler or do you play Rory McIlroy? Or do you go balanced, more of a balanced build? I think whatever you choose to do is going to be just fine. But let's take a look at the Farmers Insurance Open really quick. We can clear the filters that are on there already. Oh, well, that also clears out the Farmers. All right, there we go. So we put in the Farmers. Your most common lineup builds 10, 9, 8, 7, 7, 6. 10, 9, 3 7s and a 6. I do not see the 10, 9, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 6 on there. 10, 9, 8, 7, 7, 7. Okay, so 10, 9, 8, 7, 7, 6 seems to be the most common still. And was there a max salary that was over 12,000? Nope, 11,600. That is the most you've ever seen at the Farmers Insurance Open. Now that typically has a weaker strength of field. You don't have the best golfers there every single year. So take that with a grain of salt. But for these lineups that the max salary is pretty high, 10, 9, 8, 7, 7, 6 is the way. Or 10, 8, 8, 7, 7, 6. Yeah, you see that almost exclusively all the way down. Okay. So those are cool ways to look at lineups. If you really wanted to dig in to more specific lineups, like we kind of did with the US Open 2021, your GPP winning lineup. Oh, I did not put US Open in there. There we go. This was your US Open GPP winning lineup, where it started with 2 9Ks. It was Morikawa, Xander, 3 7s, and an 8. Or if you just wanted to do it this way, sort by salary, you certainly can. Let's go Genesis. And not 2021. I don't really care. What was last year's GPP winning lineup? Actually started with Xander. Xander at 10-1, but that was 10-9, 8, 7, 7, 7. Hideki won in the 7K range. If I wanted to go more filters and just select the SweetSpot Optimal instead of the GPP, this also starts with Xander. So super interesting, okay? Get rid of that one. And what was the optimal? Still Xander. Yeah, Scottie was 11-5. He finished 10th. Rory was 11-2. He finished 24th. And then Xander was 10-1 and finished 4th. Keep that in mind. 2023, your GPP winning lineup. Start with John Rahm. Again, this was at the Riviera Country Club, so take this with a grain of sand. That one started out 10-9-9. So there's an interesting, or actually really 11-9-9, 6-6-6. 2 high 6, actually all 3 high 6Ks. High 6K for me is 65 and up. And oh, by the way, I forgot to mention this. 6HK just stands for 6 high K, and that's 6,500 above. 6LK is just 6 low K. So it's the lower 6K range, and that's 6,400 and below, just in case you guys were ever wondering. I want to look at the SweetSpot Optimal. 11, 9, 3 7s, and a 6. Yeah. That scored 594. And your GPP winning lineup scored 570. So 24 points. It beat the GPP. And again, that went, I already forgot. 10, 9, 3 7s, and a 6. Yeah, 10, 9, 3 7s, and a 6. Okay. Yeah, it's difficult, man. I don't know really what to think about. When it comes down to it, you're going to have to determine, or do you want to play Scottie Scheffler, Rory McIlroy? You know, obviously we just saw with those previous Genesis Invitationals, starting with kind of the lower 10K and playing one of the higher 9Ks was kind of the way to go. And then the choice really is 10, 9, 8, 2 7s and a 6, 10, 9, 8, 3 7s, 10-9, 8, 7, 6, 6, or 10-9, 3 7s and a 6. Those are your most common lineup builds. Just going over this as quick as we have been. So it's interesting. I don't know exactly what to do. We'll let the optimizer kind of figure it out after we go through more pieces to the puzzle with the SweetSpot process. But yeah, interesting lineups to be built because of how weird this is. It's just an anomaly. We're playing at a different golf course than we typically do for this tournament. It's not that we don't have course information or whatever for Torrey Pines. We do, but it's a limited field. It's a very high strength of field, and 12-3 is our highest price guy, and then it just dips into the 10-9 is still pretty high, but it's not unreasonable or undoable, especially when it's a limited field, a limited cut. It's interesting. We'll let the video, or we'll continue going on through this video to try to figure out more and more about what we want to do this week, but this is a good starting point. So let me take a look at the chat. Too Cool Rad, what's going on, man? Nice to see you back. I can't remember. I think I saw either you followed me on X or I don't remember, but it's been a while. I know you've been to the channel before. English came out of nowhere. Phil goes, not really. He finished third at Torrey US Open. If you look at 2024 stats, he was very high up in putting and scrambling. That's how he did it. He got up and down for par saves. Hey, that's a good point. Actually, I want to look at that. By the way, isn't it cool now that I have a strokes gain page? We can just look this stuff up. There he is, Harry the Harry-ish. He was actually positive off the tee that week. Positive off the tee, positive approach, positive around the green. Very high with his putting. Okay. Harry-ish. By the way, if you want to use the strokes gain stats page, which I'll probably end up renaming this, probably go strokes by tournament, because I'm doing one for round by round stuff. You have to be a free member, at least a free member. This will go behind a paywall pretty soon. Definitely by the end of this month. I kind of gave a little bit of a leniency. I said once we get into February, everything was going to be behind a paywall, but as I showcase more of these tools out, I want you to have an opportunity to try them out for free before you pay. So this one is for free members. So you got to sign up on SweetSpotDFS.com, create an account, and that's how you can look at the stats. Don't pair Scotty with Billy Ho. That worked out great. There you go. Kind of like Rory and Thomas together. Ooh, I don't mind that. Super heavy on 210Ks. There you go. Louis should have won that US Open. I know. Louis was so close to winning so many majors. All right, let's move into a review of last week's tournament, which we're just going to change the overlay a little bit. All right. WM Phoenix Open. I'm going to start here at the summary page and just go over how many buckets were correct. And there's nothing to talk about when it comes to, like last week when I was going over this, I was like, well, you can't really, the projections with the spreadsheet doesn't really work out. This week it does. 2 failures, all successes for the rest of them. So 34 out of 36 buckets were correct. I'm not going to spend much time on it. I've explained how I go about the success, how to find the success. Take the projections, compare them against the top 10s and the optimal lineups that happen for each of those buckets, and that's how I get a success. So pretty self-explanatory, pretty easy. The other piece that goes in the SweetSpot process that we'll be talking about here shortly are the Marquee Tee Times. And basically last week was very interesting. Something happened that doesn't rarely happen. You had 2 guys in the optimal lineup playing together, and they played together most of the tournament. That was Daniel Berger and Thomas Dietrich. They finished first and second. They played really well both Thursday and Friday. They didn't play together Saturday, but then they came around and played together on Sunday. How cool is that? Very, very rarely do you see that happen. So basically what I always advocate for when it comes to the Marquee Tee Times, and it was just, going over this week after week after week, year after year after year. I think this is our 3rd or 4th year going over this. And throughout all of the tournaments we've ever looked at with Marquee Tee Times, we rarely see golfers paired up together in the same Marquee Tee Time, finishing inside the optimal lineup together. So this is one of those anomalies that it happened. It happens. Sometimes it just does. This, during the WM Phoenix Open, Daniel Berger and Thomas Dietrich were playing together. That's the only two golfers out of the Marquee Tee Times that played together that were in the optimal lineup. Jordan Spieth is your other guy that was in the optimal lineup. So these little black tick marks that you see, that indicates the optimal lineup. Golfers here in blue indicate the GPP winning lineup. And then these green salaries indicate the SweetSpot optimal. So I always keep track of the best SweetSpot optimal lineup, which is following all of the SweetSpot rules. I compare it against the optimal lineup, and I compare it against the GPP winning lineup. If the SweetSpot optimal beats the GPP winning lineup, I consider the SweetSpot process for the week a success. So one way to do that is just to show you on a different page what each of those lineups look like. The optimal lineup used up 44,200. And it scored 720 points. Actually, you know what? Why would I use that page when I can use this page? I just realized that. I can put in the WM Phoenix Open, and you guys can do this too. WM Phoenix Open, go to 2025. We are looking at the SweetSpot optimal. So I'm already giving it away. But if we want to look at the optimal lineup, it used 44,200 of the salary, and it scored 720 points. And you had a 9th place guy, but then the other golfers in that lineup finished no worse than 4th. Leaving 5,000, just leaving anything more than $1,000 on the table is very difficult to do. I wouldn't recommend it. But 720 is what the optimal scored. The GPP winning lineup used 49,600, and it was 2 10K golfers, 3 7s, and a 6. You remember the whole conversation piece about last week about using Scotty Scheffler or not? You know, you got a lot of touts out there that are like, oh, look at me winning this contest, scoring 580 some points. I told you not to play Scotty Scheffler. Watch this. Just watch this. 643 is what the $5 Drive the Green contest winner scored using 2 10K golfers. Take the GPP winning lineup off. Go in here to get the SweetSpot optimal. Oh, shoot. I messed up. This actually is the best lineup that's 49.6. Let me go back. I have to go to this page. The SweetSpot optimal. So here's the two things that I do different. In or on the website, I'm giving you what the new SweetSpot optimal will be in the website is the best lineup that uses up 49,600 and above. So that scored 700 points. This doesn't follow any of the SweetSpot rules. It's just the best lineup that's 49.6 and above. Let me clear that off and just show you the difference. So again, 643 points, right? If I go to this page, this green, the golfers that are highlighted in green, they're a bit different. Scotty Scheffler scored 89.5 points. Cam Young scored 105. And then you have these 3 golfers and this golfer. The SweetSpot optimal scored 686 points. So this is following the SweetSpot rules. And I'm sorry that there's a difference between the two. My apologies. I totally forgot about that when I was showcasing that. But it scored 43 more points than the $5 Drive the Green GPP winning lineup. You can use Scotty Scheffler at 57%. And if I were to go to this page right here, 57% right here. That column shows you how much he was owned. 57%. Guess what? You could still build a lineup that took down any GPP on DraftKings. You want to know why? Because people still suck at building lineups. And no one is ever going to build a good enough lineup where you can't consider someone at 57%. The The whole name of the game is getting a 6-person parlay correct. Getting 6 golfers correct to score the most DraftKings points. So again, you can use a 57% Scotty Scheffler at $12,000 as long as the lineup looks like this. It has Scotty, Jordan Spieth, Cam Young, Thomas Dietrich, Daniel Berger, and Michael Kim. That is a 10-8-8-7-7-6, which, I mean, we just went over past optimal and GPP winning lineups for the Genesis as well as the Farmers, because obviously this week is unique. That's a pretty common build. Doing a 10 and 2 8s, 2 7s and a 6. That's another common lineup build outside of 10-9-8-7-7-6 or 10-9-8-7-6-6. So, yeah. SweetSpot process was 100% correct, or 100%, well, I shouldn't say correct. It was just 100% successful. Phil Smart says, I don't think this historical data has many plus 12K Scheffler type prices though. No, I don't think it does either. I don't have a filter for that. I will put a filter on that other one, but yeah. By the way, if you're on computer, you can just type in 12,000. Hit enter. Let's clear that out. Yeah, not many that don't have like the Tour Championship. Actually, select all, but not the Tour. I mean, you still got, some interesting ones. The RBC Heritage is actually a pretty decent comparison. That's another signature event. It's not the same type of golf course, but that used $13,300 Scotty Scheffler in it. And that was a 10-8, 3 7s and a 6, a 10-9, 2 7s and 2 6s. So just more ideas how to build lineups. It was an anomaly, Berger and Dietrich. Yeah, you don't really see that often. Golfers in the same lineup. Anyways, let's move on into the SweetSpot process for the week, which we will start with the bucket system. Just checking out comments, nothing? Okay. Hey, by the way, when we get to 25 likes, I will give away 5 YouTube memberships. 5 of them. We get to 25 likes. 19 people in the chat, 4 likes. We can get up to 25. I'm giving away 5. And they will go to people who are not yet members. So if you are not a member, you should like the video. All right. Let's get into the bucket system for the Genesis Invitational. Much like we started with the review of the WM Phoenix Open. Sorry that this is out there. Hide all that stuff. There you go. We start here because, as you saw for the WM Phoenix Open, 34 to 36 buckets were correct. Well, if we can accurately predict how many golfers are going to be in each of these, or how many golfers from these buckets are going to finish inside the top 10, it helps us narrow down our player pools. We don't have to hand pick golfers, but we'll look at some of the best buckets, or the anchor buckets, as I like to call them, and hand pick golfers from there. But what will end up happening at the end of this video is we will use the optimizer that has all of the bucket conditionals in here, all of the projections that I have. They will all be in this little conditional box, and that will drive lineups for us later on in the video. But I want to look at the anchor buckets, and the best way to do that is to put a filter on this. Again, you can follow along with me on the cheat sheet, which you can find at SweetSpotDFS.com. It will bring you to a page that looks similar to this, but you can put your own filters on there. Just go to the bucket system. And the best way to do this is go to minimum projection, and we will go greater than or equal to 1 and just see what results we get. So that limits down the buckets a little bit, and that actually allows me to zoom in just a little bit. I don't want a 3 in there. There we go. And then we want to look at anything that's greater than or equal to 2 in the max projection. And again, these are the anchor buckets. I'll explain why I'm putting these filters on. Primarily because this is telling us we want at least 1. The rules that I'll go through here will say we want at least one. If the max projection isn't greater than 2, that means the minimum projection automatically goes to 0, even if it shows 1 or greater. I want a 2-point buffer between the minimum and the maximum always. Always. So that's what we're going to do there. Now, the only other piece that I'm going to add to this is limit this number. And since it's a limited field event, we don't have many golfers in any of these buckets as it is. So we might be talking about a few golfers. Sure, that's fine. We can kind of do a little bit of a deeper dive. I'm going to go ahead and remove 36, 32, and 29. I'm just going to look pretty much 25 and less. That's how many golfers are in those buckets this week. And we have quite a few to look at. We're not going to talk about the salary buckets. Salary is not a performance stat. It's nice to see, gives us more confidence in playing golfers, either of the 8K range or the 7K range. That's all that, pretty much the buckets are designed to do, is give you confidence to play this many golfers, pretty much. We will look at last year ones. Now, this is their finishing position at the Riviera Country Club. I bet you we're going to find a lot of golfers that are just good. Obviously you have to be good in order to be invited to any of these signature events. So I'm not too worried that this is the Torrey Pines South Golf Course and not the Riviera Country Club. So the projection says 2 to 5. And that is exactly what I'm going to do. That's exactly what's in the optimizer right here. Last year one, 2 to 5, minimum of 2, maximum of 5. And again, one thing that I love about the bucket system is it just limits bad plays that you can do. So if you were going to completely fade this bucket, well, it might be impossible with how many 9K and above golfers we have, or 8K and above golfers, especially like popular ones like Scotty. Even Jason Day will be popular this week. I bet you anything Fleetwood will be popular, and so too will Finau. But you also have interesting names like Hovland and Zalatoris. I don't think you're going to be able to fade this bucket. Let's put it that way. Also, what it tells us, don't pick 6 golfers from this bucket. Now, I know that's not a huge limitation or a huge filter, but it's a filter nonetheless. It's good to have. So anyways, when it comes to this bucket, 2 to 5 is easy. You could start with Scotty and you go right down to Victor Hovland or Will Zalatoris. You could actually just do this. You go Scotty, Finau, Hovland, Zalatoris, and you go 10, 8, 7, 7. Hey, or it's 12,000, by the way. When we looked at past optimal lineups with 12,000 and above, how many times did we see lineups that started with 12, then 2 8s, and then whatever comes next? Whether that's 2 7s or 3 7s, if you can do 3 7s, or 2 7s and 1 6, or 1 7 and 2 6s. It's doable. So you could start out this way, and I think you would have a decent lineup. I also think you could go Scotty, Fleetwood, Finau, and Zalatoris, despite how expensive that is, and still have room to build more lineups. And in fact, you can still pick one more golfer from this bucket. Maybe you want to try out Max Homa this week. I don't know if you saw his press conference about how he's like, my golf swing felt the best it has in years at the WM Phoenix Open, and missed the cut by a bajillion. Not really, but that's what it's. He was at +5 at some point in time. The cut was -2. I think he got it back to +3 or +2. So he was fighting the whole time. You want to take him at his word at a golf course that he's had success at? 6,500, that's not terrible. And what would you have left if you did this? You'd have room for a flat $6,000, which, hey, Jake Knapp is in the field at $6,000. That works out, and you use up all $50,000 of the salary. So literally you could do that. I was just guessing, but yeah, you can do that. I guess if you started out this way with those 4 golfers that I just highlighted, you have 12,500 left. So you could basically one $6,200 golfer and one $6,300 golfer. So you don't have much leeway, but you can still get it done. Maybe it's not the best approach to go. Maybe dropping from Zalatoris down to Adam Scott would be the correct way to do this. And this leaves you with 12,900, which gives you access to like a 65 and a 64 or any other combination that will equal up to 12,900. So those are all options. Just giving you some, optionality. Going to the next bucket, it's the last year twos. Technically, I wouldn't consider this an anchor bucket because 1.26 to 2.10, I bet you that 2.10, it's pretty darn close to being under 3. Under 2, I should say. If this was, let's say, if this was 1.99, I will automatically make this a 0. And in fact, I think that's what I did on the optimizer. Yes, I did. Last year twos, 0 to 3. Let's just look at the golfers and see if we find anyone that we like. If we do, that's fine. You know, we can anchor around that guy. But if we don't like anybody in this bucket, which Rory McIlroy shows up right away. Yeah, you know, it's a good bucket. Actually, you know what? I kind of don't like a lot of these golfers, to be honest with you. Thigala, I'll give him some grace. I don't mind. But the rest of these dudes, I know there's going to be some love for Gary Woodland. I know there'll be some love for Nick Taylor. I don't really care for any of these guys. Even Ben Griffin down here. I know some people are like, some people are on Ben Griffin this week. The only guy that I truly like at this golf course is Rory McIlroy out of this whole group. So the fact that this is a 0 to 3 or a 0 to 3 bucket is kind of how I look at it, despite it saying 1 to 3. Yeah, I don't know. If you guys like any of these other golfers here and you want to fade Rory, that's totally fine. Totally fine. It's just not that's just not me. I don't know if I want to do that. So that's super interesting to look at. The other bucket to look at here is the last week ones, and that's a pretty solid 1 to 3 projection. I bet you I have it as 1 to 3 on the optimizer. I do. 1 to 3. And these are golfers who topped 20 last week. It's inside the top 20. So Scheffler doesn't count. He finished 25th, which is probably one of the worst finishes he's had in a long time. But here we go. Here are the golfers that finished inside the top 20 last week. We got Justin Thomas, Jordan Spieth. I really like Spieth this week. Rasmus Højgaard, if you want to go back there. Robert McIntyre's not a bad play. I was just on Byron's channel watching his video, and Dietrich was brought up. I think the kid is a stud. He is a kid. He's 5 years younger than me. He's really good. I got no issue going back to Thomas Dietrich. I think he's got the fortitude to play another full round of golf at a high level. Maybe not high enough to win, but high enough to be in the optimal lineup. I see why not. I also really like Sepp Straka. One thing that we covered last week that I forgot to mention in the review is we went over golfers who played multiple weeks in a row. Actually, let's just go back really quick and take a look. So here's your top leaderboard. I had colored these salaries with a gray color when someone played 4 or more events in a row leading into the WM Phoenix Open, because we only saw it a couple times be inside the top 10. And this year we had Taylor Moore. He's the only golfer out of all the ones that and I'll put a filter on this just to show you. Let's go into filter by text color, and we will go, oh boy, I've got a couple different colors. What is dark gray? Can I change this to a different gray? How about that gray? Is this going to be better? There we go. So here are all the golfers that played. Never mind, not all of them, because there were other rules that I applied to this. So ignore Thorbjornsen and Matt Wallace. But these are all the golfers that came in with 4 weeks of play in a row. Only Taylor Moore performed well enough. He was in the optimal lineup, so obviously he played really well. The rest of the guys kind of you could ignore. I almost will take the same approach this week. So I'm really curious. I bring it up because of Sepp Straka. We see Sepp Straka right there. I guess if I go here and I take a look, how many guys have played 4 weeks in a row coming into this? So basically all I'm going to do is look at these columns here. And if I see it all colored, then I know they've played, you know, multiple weeks in a row. So Sam Stevens, I'm probably going to nix him out. Let's just go ahead and put a gray color on him already. Let's see, who else? We have Mark Hubbard. So we'll do the same thing there. Grazerman's coming in with 4 weeks of play. I mean, he did withdraw at one event, and I think that was because of a hand injury. So I'm going to go ahead and gray him out as well. Here's Siwoo Kim coming in with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks of play. No missed cuts. A lot of golf for Siwoo Kim. Actually, I'm sorry, 2 missed cuts. 2 missed cuts. JJ Spawn withdrew. I don't know why, but let's just go ahead and put a gray. I don't know why. Maybe it's not worth it, but so be it. Andrew Novak also coming in with a lot of play. To me, honest, if this is going to be one of those tournaments that's in harsh weather, and we have golfers that have just been playing their asses off, I'm probably just going to ignore them because that's a lot of play. I'm surprised. Oh, Taylor Moore just didn't get invited to this. This is interesting. Patrick Rogers. This is like a home course for him. Not really, but he's a California boy that has played well at the Farmers Insurance Open a lot. Eric Cole down here. I'm going to gray him out. And I just realized something. I bet you my numbers change a little bit if I delete these. I do not have Jake Knapp. Let's do that update really quick. Let's see, don't have it up. You go to my input sheet, which makes all my updates. Lots of stuff, dude. Lots of stuff. And I'll go to this page, scroll down here to copy this. Easy peasy. It's been updated. Copy and paste it down. Okay. Jake Knapp coming in with 4 weeks in a row. That's fine, I think. So anyways, yeah, interesting nonetheless. I don't want to play golfers that have a lot of tournaments in a row. I originally looked at this for Sepp Straka, right? Totally got off the beaten path. That's okay. He had 1 week that he took off, and that was the Farmers, by the way. That's interesting. Okay. I don't mind Sepp Straka this week. I did want to see if he had 5 weeks in a row because it felt that way. But he did take a break off in between, so that's good. I don't really have anything. I mean, Minwoo Lee is here. I did see Austin Reed say that he likes Henley. Is Henley here, or was he in the last bucket? He must have been in the last bucket. Daniel Berger's here. If you're interested in Berger, I mentioned on Byron's podcast that I'm like, I don't know if I can go to Berger 2 weeks in a row. Going back to what we just looked at, Berger's what, 74? No. He's 69, 6,900. Like this is what I kind of think of right here. So we go, he played 1 week, missed the cut, 21st, not bad. And then he went and played. So he played all 4 rounds at the American Express, then played at the Farmers Insurance and missed the cut. I don't know how I feel about Berger this week. I know he's going to be a very popular play. And I think why, so I don't really care about game theory that much. I don't care if he's going to be high owned. I just don't like the thought of playing him 2 weeks in a row because he's never really proven to play well 2 weeks in a row since his injury. And I believe it's a back injury that he had for a long period of time or something of that regard. So I'm not sure I'm going to go back to Berger. Austin says last bucket. Okay. So last week or last year 2s, I think it was when we were looking at. So yeah, that's a good reason for me not to go to Berger. That's fine by me. I do like Wyndham Clark this week. Hey, Cam Young, by the way, if you remember building lineups last week, he showed up a ton. And it's like, I don't want to put Cam Young in my lineup. Well, the optimizer tends to know more things than we do almost every single week. And I actually do have a little bit of a different idea on how to build lineups this week, which I'll get to when we get there. But anyways, let's move on. That was your last week 1 bucket. Now we get into our course history buckets, which, man, do we even look at these? Let's just look at them for novelty of it, I guess. Course history 2s. I'm not going to put a lot of weight into this. I mean, it's just going to be your best golfers anyways. Yeah, Scotty Scheffler, Rory, Matsuyama, Cantlay. Like, if this was Genesis, Cantlay would be a very, very strong consideration. Like, if this was actually not Genesis, if this was Riviera, so the typical golf course that Genesis plays at, that was the case, Cantlay would definitely be a huge play in my opinion. I really like Fleetwood. I like Fleetwood and Rory. I think that's where I want to spend most of my lineups building, are just those two. And I do kind of want to like get Will Zalatoris and Adam Scott into my lineup somehow. What was this bucket? 1 to 4? Yeah, so it's technically 1 to 4, I think. Let's double check. Ooh, it's a 1 to 3 bucket, but it's very close to being 1 to 4. I think I have it 1 to 4 in my. I don't. I have a 1 to 3. What do you guys think? Are we at the 1 hour? Yeah, we are at the 1 hour mark. Here's roll call. For the people that are here, roll call is this. Do I change course history 2, the conditionals, from 1 to 3 to 1 to 4? Type 3 if we keep 3 in the chat. Type 4 if we do 4. This is going to count for the roll call. I'm going to copy all of this over to the monthly page. Three in the chat if you want to keep the conditional set to a 3. 4 in the chat if you think it should move to a 4. And again, this will give you an entry into the weekly and monthly giveaway under the credit of the American Express, or not the American, the Genesis Invitational. Trying to think of the acronym I'm going to put here. That's what screwed me up. Keep it all at 3. Ooh, I like you. I like where you guys' brains are at. This is exactly how I feel too. All right, that's what we're going to do then, guys. That is exactly what we're going to do. Dave Dean, what's going on, man? Haven't seen you in a while. Nice to see you. Nathan Johnson, hello, hello. Anybody that's on a delay, you guys can go ahead and put in your picks as well, but just make sure you select the little live button down there to the left. Go ahead, hit that. Austin Reed, there we go. Just make sure that you're caught up, that you're live with me, and then we won't be behind, especially when it comes to lineup building. And I'm asking you, do you like these golfers or not? Should we play these golfers or not? Okay, so everyone has their consensus of picking 3. So I just want you guys to all consider this. Look at the golfers that you see here. I like the idea of limiting yourself to 3 golfers. But oh boy, is it going to be difficult, especially when you've got Zalatoris, Scott, even Homa down here, or maybe even Thigala. So are you guys telling me that you don't want to go Scotty or Rory, maybe drop down to Finau, and you don't want to add Zalatoris and or Scott? Is that what you guys are trying to tell me right now? You don't want to go to 4? It is, dude. This is where it's going to be really challenging. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to put this right here to remind myself to try some lineups with 4. Phil goes correct. Yes, Eric, that's what we said. That's what we said. We didn't stutter. All right. All right. That is the beauty of this. The beauty of the bucket system is making decisions, not really based off the golfers, just based off the numbers. Course history 3. Let's see what bums are in this bucket. I do like all 4 highlighted though. There we go. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Here's group course history group 3, or course history 3. Course history bucket 3. JT, Jason Day. Okay, so I get it, guys. This is a bucket that I think has a lot more glue pieces to it. Many more of the 6K golfers are in this bucket that I kind of want to play or that I'm comfortable playing. And just also other good names. Like you've got Maverick McNeely, that's $7,800. That's a good play in my opinion. I really like Jordan Spieth this week. Was it Austin Reed that says he likes Henley? Also don't mind going to Jason Day despite him kind of being on my blacklist. Like I just... Justin Rose, don't mind playing him this week. The Optimizer loves Aaron Rai. He is one of the better rated golfers down here. He's 23rd in my model when it comes to his rating. And quite frankly, I like him better at Torrey than I would at Riviera. For whatever reason, I like that this is kind of a wide open track for him to hit it. Riviera was a bit more tree lined, and I know he hits the ball relatively straight, but I just like the idea that he can, I don't know. He seems like he's a good par or better type of golfer. Yeah, don't you dare take away my CH3 golfer. Are you talking, or CH3 golfers? I was gonna say, are you talking about Charles Howell III, CH3? Anyways, yeah, there's some good, interesting names, and this bucket is a 1 to 4. So we don't have to play more than one golfer, but we want to at least find one. And I think that's actually right. Oh, Sepp Straka's in here. I didn't even see that. Sam Burns, I think that's fine. Wyndham Clark, I actually really like this week. I think Wyndham Clark probably goes, well, it depends on what his schedule looks like, but I kind of like the form he's in. You like Keegan, Austin? Yeah, Keegan's not terrible either. Okay, cool. All right. Well, let's move on to the next bucket. Recent form 1 and recent form 2. So golfers that are coming in with good recent form. I'm sure we're going to find a lot of our best golfers here as well. So let's take a look. Both of these buckets, actually, no. Recent form 1 is 1 to 3. Recent form 2 is 1 to 4. But either way, let's take a look. You are following along with me, which you can on the cheat sheet. Just make sure you clear out all your filters before applying new ones. So let's go ahead and look at recent form 1. That way you're not missing out on anybody. So this bucket's pretty small. We have 11 golfers. It starts with Scotty. It starts with Rory. So the 2 top price guys. Then we get Colin and a bunch of decent golfers. Cantlay, I actually don't really have an issue playing Cantlay, but I don't know if I'm really going to try to push to play Cantlay. Taylor Pendrith, which everybody and their grandma is talking about in the industry. You guys, do you all really like Taylor Pendrith that much? Let me give you my soundbite on Taylor Pendrith for just a second, or for a couple minutes. Taylor Pendrith, no doubt, is a pretty decent ball striker. I'm not going to give you that. I'm not going to take that away from him. The golf swing that he deploys, I don't think is repeatable. He has kind of that A swing from David Ledbetter, where the club kind of goes up, kind of. It's unique. If I could show a video without getting a copyright strike, I would. But I don't think that golf swing is super repeatable to be a really good golfer. He will have his moments. He will pop. He is talented. Don't get me wrong. I just don't think he's as good as everyone else is making him out to be. He's a tall boy who hits the ball far, right? Here, let's take a look. Players. Pendrith. Was he 6'3" or 6'4"? 6'2". He's not even as tall as I think he is. 200 pounds, 33 years old. That's pretty good. Got no issue with that. Not that that matters that much in golf, but it kind of does when it comes to power. Results. 13th, 45th, 7th, and 9th. Okay. Shoot. Taylor Pendrith. I don't need his 300 round baseline. I actually don't even need that. How far do I want to go back? Let's go 9. No, let's go 9/1/2024. I gotta go even further back from that. Oh, I have 2025 selected. Stupid. Gotta be smarter than the filters. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Dang it. Oh my god, dude. Yeah, right. This is why everyone likes him. I get it. I get it. I get it. Yeah. Nothing's worse than 45th place. Oh, man. Yeah, that's all good. There's nothing. Shoot. I'm going to eat my words. All right. Okay. All right. I get it. I'm not even going to look at the chat. Not even going to look at the chat. I understand. I have no idea what you guys are saying right now, but okay. Okay. I'm a big Pendrith guy, but not this week. Okay, Phil, you were with me for maybe a split second until I just showed that graphic. Yeah. Not the best on approach. That's okay. I mean, that's how strokes gain stats work. You're good on off the tee, and your approach, you have to be perfect or you will be net zero or negative. So that's the one thing you got to understand about strokes gain stats is just, it's okay. If you're really good off the tee, we can give a bit more forgiveness for approach because they're hitting the ball closer than those that don't rip it off the tee that have good approach numbers. Pendrith is long off the tee and he's accurate, which is huge here, and has great course history and recent form. He's just a tall, pretty boy. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. That's gonna be Pendrith. Pendrith and Dietrich are just gonna have that song anytime that they should pair up at the Zurich and just have HBK's sexy boy music as they go out. All right, well, all right. It's hard to argue that Pendrith is not okay. All right, I'm over it. Done talking about this bucket. That was a 1 to 3 projection. So find 1 to 3 golfers. It's pretty freaking easy. But here's the beauty part of this. I will note something right from the beginning, or not so much from the beginning. We're in the middle of this, but I say this every single time when it comes to projections. There are times the buckets fail. Last week, 2 buckets, the projections that I had for those buckets failed. This bucket could fail for the 1 to 3 projection that I have. And what I mean by 1 to 3 is you select 1 to 3 golfers that you see on the screen. I shouldn't say never. There are very few exceptions that I allow myself to get away from those predictions, whatever. If you stick to this, the 1 to 3, it will really help you narrow down your player pool. I really feel like for this bucket, because there are a lot of good golfers to choose from. Minwoo Lee is going to be popular. Adam Scott's going to be popular. Gary Woodland's going to be popular. If you truly feel like one of these guys up top is going to finish inside the top 10, and even if you think 3 of these guys are going to finish up top, you probably can only play 2 of them, but maybe 3 or maybe more end up finishing inside the top 10. And that's truly what I'm focusing on. I want to find golfers who finish inside the top 10. I want all 6 of my golfers to finish inside the top 10. So there could be mold breakers, as I like to call them. This bucket could be one of those that fails. I don't really care. I'm going to follow my process 100%. And I am limiting myself to only selecting 3 of these golfers. So this is your recent form 1 bucket. And I have that right here. Recent form 1, 1 to 3. If you so choose to not believe in it, or if you want to challenge it and you want to make it 4, I got no problem with it. But the beauty of the bucket system is it limits you from playing too many of one type of golfer. That's essentially it. So you do you. Actually, I want to see one stat over here. Yeah, 2.58 is right in the middle. I would never bump that up over 3. All right, recent form 2s. Next one to look at this. 1 to 4. So change up the filters, 1 to 4. Just a reminder for those that might be new to the channel or new to the video. Again, trying to reach 25 likes. I get to 25 likes, I'm giving away 5 YouTube memberships. The memberships, what they do is it gives you access to the fun emojis or the emotes that Phil Smart has put in the chat. You get all the SweetSpot DFS specific ones, but also Wednesday night, I do a live stream just for members that are white tier and above, just members, white tier and above. And when I gift out these memberships, they are of white tier memberships. So you will automatically get access to watch those videos Wednesday night. So like the video, the 5 memberships will be random. So it's not a given you're going to be one of those that are chosen, but you have to be subscribed to the channel and you have to allow gift giving to you have to enable gift giving on your YouTube account, which all you got to do is hit the little money sign down here. And then it should be an option. Somewhere on there should be an option that says enable gift giving or something like that. Gift receiving or whatever. You'll want to do that. Okay. This bucket here is a 1 to 4 projection. So we're expecting 1 to 4 golfers to finish inside the top 10, and therefore we want to select 1 to 4. This bucket's a bit easier to select 4 golfers from because your highest price guy is 10-1. We only have 3 9K golfers. Everyone else is 8K and below. So it would be really easy to go like Jordan Spieth. There's our boy Will Zalatoris we've been talking about. Let's see, who else have we been talking about? I know Keegan was one of the golfers someone in the chat mentioned that they liked. And then say Tommy Fleetwood. We have a 9-8-7-7 approach right there. But really, you could probably go with any of these 9K golfers. I like Fleetwood a little bit more. And again, you can play up to 4. Maybe you don't like Keegan that much and you want to go JT. Now you got a 10-9-8-7 start. And you just find another 7K golfer and a 6K, or maybe you find 2 6Ks and you've got a common lineup build that works well at the Genesis Invitational, the US Open that was played at Torrey, and the Farmers Insurance Open. So it's a very common build to start out 10-9-8-7. You could go 10-8-8-7. If you wanted to go Jason Day and Jordan Spieth, I mean, this lineup would be a great start. 10-8-8-7, and then maybe you find 2 other 7s or a 10 and a 6, or a 7 and a 6, or maybe 2 6s. I don't know. It's up to you. You do you. Play it however you like. And that's not even correct. You can't even do another 7 and 2 6s. You needed 2 golfers. So either 2 more 7s, a 7 and a 6, or 2 6s. That's how it should have been. All right. We're not going to talk about the salary buckets, but let's talk about strokes gained 1, 2, and 3. Let's just pretend they're all, well, okay, this first one's 2 to 4, and then the other 2 are 1 to 3. So the easy way to do this is just remove all the filters, select all of, make sure there's no filters on, and then just sort by the strokes gained bucket here, top to bottom. So this first bucket, we want to select 2 to 4 golfers from. It's just these golfers with the dark green boxes next to them. 2 to 4. All right. So let's really look at this. Think this one through. Do we start with one of these guys up top? I personally will. Like, I just have I can't not. And quite frankly, when I look at the golfers down here, I don't want to select 2 of these golfers. I mean, I guess Colin, Scotty, or Rory, I think that's fine. I got no issue there. But golfers from here down, I personally like Fleetwood, McNeely, Scott. And that's probably it. Like, those are the only golfers I'm going to reach for. The other golfers, I don't mind if they're in my player pools. I don't mind if they're in my lineups. I'm not really pushing for them. So again, this projection's 2 to 4. We want to select somewhere between 2 to 4 golfers, and it's really pointing at either a very conservative start with like Matsuyama, Cantlay, or Fleetwood, and then maybe mixing in a couple of these guys, or just hitting the top. Scotty, Rory. One thing to note, you can actually have both Scotty and Rory finish inside the top 10 and the rest of these guys not. So just keep that in mind. You could have just these 2 golfers finish inside the top 10. That would make that bucket prediction successful, because I'm only predicting 2 to 4 to finish inside the top 10. And if it's just those 2 guys, you are more likely not able to play these 2 guys and win a GPP because of how expensive they are. Just throwing that out there. That's something to be cognizant of. And that also applies to any of the other buckets we talked about that have both of them in it, which is just the recent Form 1 bucket. So something to revisit. Moving on, next bucket's 1 to 3. Oberg, Sungjae, Pendrith, Day. I think there's a lot of interesting names. I think out of this whole bucket, I probably like Wyndham Clark the most, just because of his price point. $7,300 allows you to do a lot of things. We're kind of just ignoring Sam Stevens. This is his 6th week in a row playing. I don't like that. Victor's very interesting to me. So too is Thomas Dietrich after his win. I do like Jason Day. I embarrassed myself talking about Pendrith and how I don't think he's a good play this week. I think he's a good play this week. And I got no issue going to Ludwig. So maybe this is one of those, looking at this whole entire bucket, there's nothing that's a slam dunk play, right? You don't have, you have no 10K golfers in this bucket. The 9K golfers are, I don't know. Ludwig, I think is a stud. Like he's a really good golfer. Sungjae, I think, when he's got it dialed down or when he's got it dialed, I think he's a great play. I just don't know. So with that being said, you could just go Ludwig and ignore everyone else. You could. You don't have to play it. This bucket is 1 to 3, and it could just be Ludwig. It could just be Sungjae, could just be Taylor Pendrith, or it could be a mix of these guys. There's a lot of question marks, to be honest. Was Wyndham just a one tournament hit wonder? Last week he hadn't been playing that great heading into this season or playing throughout the season, and then he played well at WM Phoenix Open. I don't know. A lot of interesting plays. And Hovland, who knows what to do with Hovland right now? Like he was talking about how terrible his game was not too long ago. I don't know. I don't mind Hovland, to be honest, but he's not a slam dunk play either. Okay. Moving on to the last bucket to talk about, 1 to 3 from this one. It's a bit larger. There's more golfers in here. So obviously finding 1 to 3 is going to be somewhat easy. It starts with Justin Thomas, which I think is a decent, I don't mind playing Justin Thomas at this golf course. I do have kind of a feeling, let's take a look at his last 7 weeks. Justin Thomas. Okay. So this golf course isn't something that you can just bomb it like crazy and not face any penalties. But I've always had this conclusion of JT that when he steps down on a drive, it's rarely successful. Like he is successful when it comes to the PGA Championship where he drove the green to beat Will Zalatoris and Mito Pereira in. Yeah, he did that. And that was one of the few times that when he throttles down on a driver that he actually hits it better. I'd be really interesting. See, I will have filters in the future. So like this strokes gain page, I will have a filter right in here that will say yardage, golf course yardage. You choose the golf course, or maybe just choose the yardage. And I'd be really interested to see when JT has 7,500 yards or greater, what is his average finishing position compared to other tournaments that have less yardage? That would be really interesting in my opinion, because I just have this, when I watch him, the thing that comes into mind is like, oh boy, here comes JT. He's really going to hammer down on one. And then he just snipes one left, or he just pushes the hell out of it to the right. Like there's just always something weird when JT throttles down on a, he's just not good. He's not good when he's trying to hit it farther. He's just not good. And I don't know if this golf course is going to warrant that from Justin Thomas. So I'm cautious. I think his form is great, though. Don't get me wrong. His form is really good. But I'm still cautious in wanting to play JT. So if I get past that, I don't like Tom Kim at this golf course. I mean, he's good enough to play well, but I just don't care for him, you know, just in general. I really like Jordan. I really like Tony. These are the two golfers that I like from this bucket. And remember, this bucket projects 1 to 3 to finish inside the top 10. If you don't believe it's just 1 to 3 and it should be more, that's on you. You do you, man. I'm sticking to 1 to 3. And there are a lot of compelling golfers, or even just glue pieces, if you want to think of it that way, to put into your lineups outside of anchoring around JT or Tom Kim or even Shane Lowry. Like 85 and down. If I were to, is this, I just want to double check. 1 to 3? Yeah, 1 to 3. That's the projection for this bucket. I mean, I could go Spieth and Finau, or I could just do Spieth, maybe drop to Zalatoris, and just like Austin Reed said, he likes Keegan. Those 3 golfers are good enough by me to start with. I could also start at the bottom and say I like Justin Rose or Steven Yeager. I think that's fine also. And then say you want one of these guys. So I'm just going to highlight one of these guys down here. So you could do something like this. And I like that. It also, yeah, there's a lot of question marks out of that bucket that I'm not sure I care for that much. Like, I just don't know. I don't know enough. I don't like any of these guys enough to really want to anchor around them. So decisions to be made. So we're at 1 hour 30 and we are about to get into our Marquee Tee Times. So be prepared. Everything I've just mentioned, I've talked about a bunch of golfers. Be prepared to give me 2 to 4 golfers that you want to play. But don't do it yet. Wait till we talk about the Marquee Tee Times. Let me double check on chat before we get into the Marquee Tee Times. What's going on, Jim? Nice to see you. You won the giveaway. I don't know where to send you $5, but we could also bank it for a t-shirt or whatever. You let me know. I can send you $5 one way or another. Can't mail you a check, though. Phil heard me say cognizant. I think, did I say cognizant? I mean, I think I did, right? Be cognizant of whatever. Yeah, no, we're playing the Genesis. That's a joke, right, Phil? Mito should have won. Yeah. That's how it goes. I full fade JT every week, no matter what. If he beats me, oh well. I already hate him. All right, Austin. No, I have your Venmo. Perfect. Then I have your Venmo. If I could just look at an overall leaderboard finishing position correlation between all players, or I should say, Phil said, hey, you know what would be a really cool statistic to look at? If you could somehow just look at overall leaderboard finishing position correlation between all players. Eventually, that's what this website's going to be able to do. Like I'm building it. The one thing that applies when you're looking at all data is you can do whatever the hell you want with all data. In the spreadsheeting stuff, I just look at top 10 finishes. So it's easier to do it that way, but you literally on Power BI, you can just create a ton of different filters that you as the user can do however you like. And that's the best way to put the data in. I don't want to put the data in preloaded or whatever that already has the filters. I want you to be able to do that by yourself. So the bucket system will be in there, and you will be able to look at all positions. And it's not just the bucket system. You'll be able to look at everything. So yes, it'll be there soon. If anyone requests Morikawa Penrith, they should be kicked out of society. We shall see, man. We shall see. All right. Here we go into the Marquee Tee Times. Gotta hit that transition, though. You can follow along with me on the cheat sheet. All you gotta do is put a filter on the dream sheet, go to group rank, and go A to Z. These are the top 9 groups in the field, and I'm gonna change this to 150. There you go. These are your top 9 groups. And for all the years dating back to 2021, when we first reviewed this at the PGA Championship, the one that I think Phil won, I think that's 2021, the Kiawah Island one, we have found that 95% of the time, you want to find 2 to 4 golfers from the Marquee Tee Times, and they cannot be playing together. It's in the high 90s that this occurs. So basically what it would look like if you're new to the channel, if you like Scotty Scheffler, now this would be difficult anyways, you wouldn't want to pair him with Collin Morikawa or Hideki Matsuyama. But let's just pretend that's not the group we're really looking at. This is a better one. Rory McIlroy, Victor Hovland, and Adam Scott. Adam Scott's going to be very popular this week. Very popular this week. One way to get different, if you are so worried about duplicating lineups, is not playing them with Rory. But one of a better reason than just say, oh, ownership is the Marquee Tee Times are telling you not to pair them up together. Now, it's not to say you can't win money having both of those guys in, especially if they both make the cut, or even if all 3 of these guys make the cut. You could still win money. However, you're not going to hit the optimal lineup. It's going to be extremely rare to hit the optimal lineup, pairing any of those guys up together. And why does it matter to hit the optimal lineup? Well, if you're playing in a high stakes GPP, the only way to ensure you win it is by making the perfect lineup, and that is called the optimal lineup. Sometimes it's hard to get to, but I've done the SweetSpot Optimal, which is your best lineup you can build 49,600 and above using that amount of salary. That also follows the SweetSpot process. And I review that every single week. Every tournament that I do, I review the SweetSpot Optimal, and it follows the SweetSpot rules, which again is selecting 2 to 4 golfers from the Marquee Tee Times and not playing them together. And in fact, I'll show you on the optimizer, that is what I have right in here. You see this? Group 1, Group 2, Group 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0 to 1 out of the min and the max, and 2 to 4. So it's built into the optimizer. I don't even have to look at it with my own eyeballs. It's already in the optimizer. Don't mind this. I think the lineup that's in here right now was built before I even hit the run optimizer thing. So you see 3. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that little guy. We will build lineups and you'll see it working in fullness. So either way, there's group 2 is Rory, Hovland, Adam Scott. Group 3 is JT Finau, Wyndham Clark. This is wonderful. How often have I been talking about, I mean, like we were just talking about JT and Finau in that strokes gained 3 bucket, but we were also talking about Wyndham Clark. Wyndham Clark shares the same course history bucket with JT, and he shares the same recent form bucket with Tony Finau. This is how lineup building can be made easy, is if you remove one of those golfers from the pool because you're playing someone else, or you remove 2 of them, it gives you more optionality or just more freedom to select golfers in those other buckets that are shared with whoever you like, whether it's JT Finau or Wyndham Clark. I kind of like Wyndham Clark more than I like the other 2 guys. Just for lineup building sake. If you were telling me like I got a bet between one of these 3 guys, I'm probably still choosing Justin Thomas. Let's put it plainly. I'm still probably choosing Justin Thomas, and in fact, I probably would choose Finau over Wyndham Clark. But the lineup building purposes, I really like the idea of playing Wyndham Clark. The next one's also really interesting. Cantlay, Fleetwood, and Homa. So Homa was talking about how good his golf swing is. It's the best he's felt in the last, I don't know, 13 months, 14 months, whatever it was. I also really like Fleetwood, and Cantlay is number 4 in my model. He's not the number 4 priced guy, but he's number 4 in my model. So the optimizer is probably going to select Cantlay a lot, and it's not going to be selecting Fleetwood or Homa. So I don't know what to do with that. That one's a puzzling one to me. I mean, I like Fleetwood the most. Fleetwood's my play out of those 3. Next one's Oberg, Spieth, and Dietrich. Personally, that's Spieth for me. I'm choosing Spieth. If I'm not playing Spieth, that's cool. I can pair up Oberg with one of the top guys. I mean, an Oberg Rory lineup sounds fantastic. Just remember you're not playing Adam Scott or Victor Hovland. That actually sounds fantastic. Starting that way, or even Rory and then Jordan. That's cool. Or you could go Jordo, Scheffler, Adam Scott, Wyndham Clark. 10, 8, 7, 7. I like that. That sounds sexy as hell to me. The next 3, McIntyre, Straka, and Thigala. I don't care. I don't care. Next one is Sung Jae, Keegan, Cam Davis. I also don't care. Next one is Shane Lowry, Jason Day, and Steven Yeager. That's very interesting to me because I do like Day this week, and I also like Yeager for a low-priced golfer. But it's nice to see if you wanted to go the conservative route, going with Shane Lowry and Jason Day might not be the way to go. And then obviously pairing them up with Steven Yeager, just not going to happen either. And the last one, Corey Connors, Akshay, and Davis Thompson. So there's actually one more segment that I'm going to add to this video. I just remembered it because I saw Akshay's name. So I'm actually, here's what I will say. Fine. I'm going to redo this. I'm going to re-highlight this. Now, actually, I'm going to go like every in-between to make it easier for your guys' eyes to pick golfers. I'm going to start building lineups here pretty soon. 2 to 4 golfers. Find 2 to 4 golfers from the lineups or from the groups that are there. I'm going to build lineups around those guys. For you. And we're going to spend 3 minutes per lineup and go from there. Let me read the comments. And actually, I'm going to let's throw some music on right away. Because we're about to get into building lineups, and why not build lineups with some.
Great.
All right, Austin Reed goes, the bucket system is great for large GPPs, like the $5 and $25 has 50,000 entries. What about single entry with 2,000 entries? How do you go about smaller ones? Oh, God. So when I think about single entry lineups, I mean, I don't really do anything different when it comes to building lineups. I still will follow the bucket system, but I might follow it like just to bring up the optimizer. So the optimizer, the salary range that you see right here, you know, it still says 0 to 2. It's not telling you had to play a 10K. 0 to 2 9Ks. It's not telling you have to play a 9K or even an 8K. It's actually giving flexibility to choose 3 8Ks. So what'll end up happening is I'll build 100 some lineups, and in those single entries, I'll put the safer lineup in there, the more conservative lineup. I'm not that successful when it comes to it, because in my league, in some of my leagues, I mean, I played Alex Noren the first week and he withdrew, so that kind of hurt my whole league overall score. I don't know why I didn't look to see if Noren was withdrawing from the event, but I didn't get to it in time, so I got a big old 0 burger when everyone else was scoring like 130 points. But I personally still I'm down 300 points, so I'm still not doing that great in league contests because I build lineups that are better for GPPs. So I think what I'll say is, you know, you should never play a random 6K golfer. Like last week in the members only video Wednesday night, I built a lineup with Will Chandler in it, and it didn't have Scotty because no. Will wasn't playing with Scotty Thursday, Friday. It had Will Chandler in it, and I just said, yeah, I will play Will Chandelier is what I called him. I'll play Will Chandelier. Why not? Because playing one random 6K golfer might be the difference of you taking down a GPP versus not. A lot of times I think where people get in trouble is they fall in love with a 6K golfer, and it seems like that's the safest 6K golfer to play, and that goes into their league contests, or that goes into their cash game lineups, or, you know, their single entries, and it makes them feel, I mean, this is what DGen talks about, makes you feel good. You know, it's not as risk adverse. It's very, you know, dull feeling like, oh yeah, this guy should make the cut. And then when it comes down to the cut day, your guy doesn't make the cut because of some random stupid thing that golf provides you. And even your best golfer might not even make the cut. Like for me, Jason Day, every once in a while, I'll have him in my lineups and he just misses the cut out of the blue. And it's like, how? This golf course is supposed to fit you. Why is that happening? And that was my safe lineup, was playing Jason Day. So the thing that I've learned the most in this DFS game is you don't know as much as you think you do. I like the bucket system because it prevents me from making stupid plays. The bucket system allows me to spread out my ownership to some extent, and not just drive down into certain stat categories, because I don't know how often I'll just get a random friend who will be like, hey, I want to play these 5 golfers or these 6 golfers. What do you think about that? And I plug them into my optimizer. All 6 of them finished inside the top 20 last week. I understand the thought process of it, but it never happens. Like, you will never see an optimal lineup have 6 golfers who finished inside the top 20 from the week before. Last week's tournament, like the WM Phoenix Open, you won't get 6 of those golfers to be in the optimal lineup or in the GPP winning lineup this week. You just won't. Unless for some odd reason, it would be a 0.01% chance that it would happen. Like a 0.01% chance. Or even a 0.1% chance. It's fractional that it would even be successful to have 6 golfers from last week who finished inside the top 10 finish inside the top 10 this week. Just not going to happen. But people do that, and that's why I like the bucket system, because it prevents you from doing something like that. In fact, this week it's like 3. You only want to play 3 guys at most. Yeah, 1 to 3. And I mean, we could go back year in and year out and just take a look at this column right here. Inside the top 10, you've got 3. I guess if we go, oh no, you got 4, sorry. And 16th and then 19th. Can you even build a lineup with those guys? I think you can. Yeah, you can. There's 4 8K golfers right there for you. 4 8Ks. Oh, that wasn't one. Oh, these aren't top 10 finishes. These are top 20. That's what I meant, though, when I said that. And Scotty Scheffler, that's 50,600. So you can't even build that lineup. You can build this lineup here, though, with Tom Kim. That's 50,000 on the button right there. Let's see how close you are to winning a GPP. I mean, this right here would be really good in a league lineup. So you could do something like this, and that's an $11,000 golfer with 1, 2, 3 8K golfers, a 7 and a 6. That scored 505. Your GPP winning lineup scored 630.5. 630.5. You're not, I mean, where would this lineup even, it might double your money in a GPP. In a league lineup, it would probably be contending for first or second. In a league lineup, like, you know, 100 or less people in a contest. But again, You know, I'm looking at top 10 finishes, and I'm surprised there were 4 from last year. I'm very surprised there were 4. But yeah, you need to mix and match some of these other plays. That's what the bucket system does. Perfect. Let's see here. Wow, lots of, I love it, guys. Thank you for that. For all the contest or all the lineup considerations. Rory Scotty, Sungjae JT, Victor McNeely, Rory Pendrith, Kawa Sungjae. There you go. Never fall in love with the 6K. That is the sweet spot go-to. I know, never fall in love with the 6K, but never disrespect one. Never disrespect one. Day Cantlay Rhymes, let's go. Scheffler Burns BFF edition. Yeah, that's usually shot like Harden's duo. All right, here's the last piece that I'm going to add to this video. This is what we did last year. The 7K combo buckets. I didn't make combo buckets this year, but I wanted to throw or show some things. So last year at this event, I won $1,800. It paid for the entire year. The entire year. I didn't have to put a single dollar into DraftKings. And it's because I followed these combo buckets. And actually, I'm going to slide this off the screen here and just pay attention to this. This stuff here, you can kind of largely ignore. Actually, no, you don't want to largely ignore that. The sum here is what we're going to get to. So I started doing this last year because I didn't have my website up and running, and I felt really guilty for promising and not delivering. So I created this little metric because this is what I intend to do with the website, is give you, you know, all the different bucket combinations that you can apply and the frequency these golfers finish inside the top 10 or even inside the optimal or GPP winning lineup. That's the whole premise behind doing bucket combinations. And that's where I want to get to with my website, which I will get there. But last year at the Genesis, I always split these into 3. I'm sure some of you guys remember this. It was always, I took the total number of golfers that were in the 7K range, which there were 20 last year at the Genesis Invitational. Out of the 20, I took the top 20%, which was 4, which you have here. And it was their score right here. So 18, 17, 17, 17, and then you just see 16 and it drops. But it was the top 4. And my rule was you wanted to select 1 to 2 golfers from the top right here. And then it was 0 to 2 here and 0 to 1 here. Well, that got me on Hideki Matsuyama. And with that, I also had Will Zalatoris. I paired those 2 guys with Xander Schauffele and Patrick Cantlay and a couple other guys. I don't remember the other 2. That got me first place in that winner take all for $1,800. So or it was $1,600, but I won $200 in other contests because I followed this strategy. Now this is the Genesis from last year. And all these numbers here just show the frequency of the different bucket combos finishing inside the top 10 for their respective buckets that they're a part of. And these are the stats that I went by. Now, here's the issue. I didn't create one this year, but what I'm focusing on is what did the last year bucket look like? Course history is difficult to do because obviously the course history buckets this year aren't the same, but we can treat these as tournament history, which I think is fine. But I guess we could look at recent form with the last week finish. And as you can see, it's yellow. Yellow is that second bucket. That would be recent form bucket 2. And then having a top 20 finish the week before, which is last week bucket 1, or a 20 to 40, which is last week bucket 2. So that's something we could pay attention to when it comes to the 7K bucket or the 7K golfers. So something like this, and then maybe anything here. So basically yellow or orange is what I'm looking for. Pink, not so great, I guess on all fronts. And just having good recent form heading into this event, not also something we're looking for. I also had the Farmers Insurance Open for the 7K buckets here. Which I didn't do terrible, but I also didn't do super great because I did not play Matthew Pavon, which why would we, right? So for the Farmers, there were 42 golfers. If we take the top 8, because that's 20%, so 1, 2, 3, 4, or 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we cut that across, we'll probably go to here. So this would be your top one here. Just want a thick bottom border. There we go. And then we take the bottom 4% or 10%, which would be 4. That'd go to here. Perfect. And the same thing applies. 0 to 1 here, 0 to 2 in the middle, and then 1 to 2 here. And obviously you've got Matthew Pavon and you've got Bo Hazard. So that worked out last year. And I'm sorry to show you last year's stats and not this year's stats, but we're still going to pull data from this that we were looking for. Not having course history, not having last year finish doesn't hurt you. It actually kind of looks good with those last year bucket 2. And or just the bucket 2, or I'm sorry, bucket 2s for recent form and last week. And then I guess this is kind of just an in-between. So it's interesting. What can we get with 7Ks for this year? So I'm actually just going to put a filter on, and I'm just going to see if we can find something very similar that we've seen the last couple years. And this is really getting into the weeds. I understand. If you're not about it, I get it. But this is a fun puzzle for me to try to figure out. So we get Will Zalatoris in there again. Now he does have a last year 2 finish position, so I'm not sure that's going to matter or if it matters. But like, man, Sam Stevens would fit. Oh, Sam Stevens does fit that mold. Look at that. No course history last year, recent form 2, last week 3, but I don't know if that matters that much. Will Zalatoris looks really good, by the way. This right here isn't conducive to what we've seen, but I think that's fine. And Victor Hovland, unfortunately, I think in one of those buckets, that was actually a bad omen, if you want to call it that. Having good, what was it? Good course history and a good last year bucket. So that would be like this right here. He's not S.H. Kim. He's also not Sam Stevens. So it doesn't really apply to Victor there. And what about here? Any good course history? Good last year? No. Missed cuts, though. That's at the Genesis, though. Okay. And this would be great if I was able to do combo buckets for this tournament, but I didn't get around to it. Couldn't. Keegan Bradley kind of fits, you know, that mold. Wyndham Clark having that missed cut from the year before, but not JJ Spawn. We'll stay away from JJ Spawn. So Keegan and Wyndham are kind of front runners for me when it comes to looking at those previous stats. I don't know what to do with something like this, where you have good course history and a good last year finishing position. That's Victor and Cam Young. Here's what I will say. I'm not going to play both of them together in a lineup. Like, I'll try to avoid that. I don't really care of playing like Will Zalatoris and that has good course history. Oh, yeah. I mean, we don't have many of these options. The last year miscuts. Don't really have many of those. Okay. I'm going to X out of this. I don't want to look at it anymore. And we kind of have that same thing here. So actually, the miscut with the... That is Wyndham Clark. That's Wyndham Clark all the way. And I'm not afraid to play. So I don't see. Good. Playing Wyndham Clark is probably the way to go. Just more reasons to play Wyndham Clark. JT Poston also is not a terrible choice. Yeah, okay. I mean, any of these guys here I think are fine. Maybe not Minwoo. Probably stay away from Minwoo just based off of the combo buckets. That's the only reason why I would stay away from Minwoo. Otherwise, I do like him. I don't think I'd play Zalatoris and Hovland together. So I'm going to split those guys up. And I don't think I would play Hovland, and Adam Scott together. In fact, just going by anchor buckets, or combo buckets, I should say, Adam Scott wouldn't be the play. Didn't quite see that ever. Having good course. Oh, I mentioned Batia for some reason. I forgot. I think it was because... Oh, Batia doesn't have... Yeah, there we go. That's another good reason. Batia. Didn't have course history. Didn't have a last year finish. Has that recent form we're looking for. So Batia actually... I probably like Batia the most. I'm going to mark these all in red because I like these golfers the most. And we'll see how it all performs. By the way, Dietrich, when we talked about Dietrich last week, I marked him red. If you go back to that video, I marked him red. And actually, that was in the members only video. I'm sorry. I'm getting you all excited. Members only. McNeely actually fits what we were just looking at. Zalatoris and Hovland, I'm going to keep unmarked just because they don't really follow what I'm looking for. Nobody else really does. Yeah. Okay, cool. So McNeely, Bradley, Clark, Batia are the 7Ks that I'm kind of... I want to play at least one of. And you know what? Actually, I'll do this tomorrow. I'm going to make this in my optimizer. I'm going to choose one of those guys. I'm going to make the optimizer. I'm going to create a player pool of those 4 golfers using the AM PM portion of the optimizer. And I'm going to make it choose one of these guys in all of my lineups. So I'm going to bump up their exposure to 25% plus and just build lineups with... Actually, no. Like, yes, but no. I don't want all of my lineups having at least one of them in it. But I would say 70% of my lineups, I think I'm going to try to build around those guys. So, anyways. That's that. Just wanted to add that. I don't know how many people I lost or gained, but hey. We're going to get into lineup building right now. So, the first person that I have is Shot Harden. I want to see... Somebody mentioned a lineup earlier. Was that John? Someone says, if someone doesn't do this, will you play? I'm not sure where it went, where it is, but if you did leave a lineup before I asked for lineups to be built, will you add it back to the bottom? And we're going to start building lineups. All right. I've pinned the lineup that we're going to do, and it's Rory and Scotty. Really, Rory and Scotty. I just realized that. That's crazy. Z-Town. All right, man. You ready? Mr. Shot Harden? On your go, we'll start building lineups. I assume the bucket of cash is the go. Here we go. 3 minutes. Building lineups. Give me my placement points right off the bat. I suppose you got a good point there. This lineup goes Scotty, Rory, Wyndham Clark, Akshay Bhatia. I don't like Tom Hoagie, but Wyndham Clark and Akshay Bhatia, are you kidding me? We were just talking about those guys. Just talking about them. That's nuts, dude. That's pretty cool that it did that. Nico, I do not like Nico at this event, by the way. Do not like Nico whatsoever. Jake Knapp to go with Hoagie. Okay, so I'm going to build one more, and if it shows Hoagie again, I'm going to kick him out. Okay. JT Poston. The 7K golfers I highlighted, the optimizer actually likes. We are in accordance together. Okay, JJ Spawn I don't like, but it's whatever. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna kick out Hoagie. I don't know. Actually, let me build one more. Let's see if Hoagie shows up. He does, and it's kind of an ugly lineup. Okay. I don't mind Kevin Yu, but I don't know if I trust Hoagie that much. So I'm going to bring these guys back, and they're going to be without Hoagie because those were the combinations that were happening, and we'll see what the optimizer does now. Aaron Rye with JJ Spawn. I don't know. Do you like JJ Spawn this week? Cam Young, Justin Rose. That's actually a better $6,400 golfer, in my opinion, than Hoagie. Actually, maybe this week is the time you go to Hoagie. You know, is there something in the universe that's like everyone's going to be on Justin Rose, so therefore you should play Hoagie? I don't know. I'm going to say no to Danny List, by the way. Big Spawn, I absolutely agree with you. And we actually broke the optimizer. So we're going to say no to Spawn. And in fact, what I'm also going to do, since you chose those two golfers, I'm going to say 0.7K golfers. And just see what the optimizer will do. You might have broked it, though. You got it, Jim. Good luck to you, too. All right, we break it with 20 seconds left. So there aren't many Scotty Rory lineups you can do without Hoagie. Hoagie is kind of required to glue all of that together. And I wonder if that's because it's a recent form. Yeah, it's probably a recent form 2 golfer. Yep. Yeah, we want at least one recent form 2 golfer, and he's really the only affordable one, it looks like, to go with all the other buckets. I figured I wouldn't get many lineups, but it's the nuts. Yeah, what lineup did we see right away? Like, yeah, the Hoagie ones kind of, I don't know, they kind of suck, but like having Wyndham and Akshay after talking that whole long segment about the 7K combo buckets, like I kind of like this lineup the most. This lineup to me is the sexiest lineup out of all of them. This is going to be your, I guess actually these will be your, I'm going to make this puke orange because I don't like them, but those will probably be your lineups that I get it done, honestly. Like for GPP, that's what I meant. Like GPP, those are going to probably win you a GPP. Because who's going to have those golfers together? Like nobody. Nobody's going to put those golfers together. They make sense with the bucket system. But yeah, it's gross. Spawn is fine, but he got 15th on the course a couple weeks ago. What's wrong with Spawn? I kind of liked him. I kind of like him this week. Yeah, I don't know if I don't know. JJ Spawn, I know he's a San Diego native, and I think this, you know, this obviously plays into, actually I don't know if he's a San Diego native, but I know he's from around there. Could be Vegas actually. But just don't, without being like super mean, and I don't mean this to be mean, but he just seems like a little bitch when it comes to playing golf. Like he looks like he could complain about anything out there. I don't know. It's just how he carries himself on the golf course. Like I think I've heard a couple interviews with him where he's a very nice person, very nice, very hopeful and stuff like that. But just watching him play golf, he just doesn't, there's something that doesn't vibe well with me, and that's just a personal thing. That's subjective, completely subjective. I also think that his skills are limited. He's a short guy who doesn't hit the ball very far. So it's kind of one of those things too. He has type 1 diabetes, so maybe his blood sugar gets out of whack. Okay, so yeah, he is a little bitch. I'm kidding. Yeah, if you like him, then that's great. I got no issues with it. No issues with it whatsoever. All right. Charlie Karn, sorry, man. We only built you 6 lineups, but there were some juicy ones. Let's go to Nathan. Nathan, are you in the chat? And oh, by the way, we're at 13 likes. If you're new to the channel, when we hit 25 likes for the video, I'm going to give away 5 YouTube memberships. And if you didn't know, Wednesday nights, I go live for members only. And you have to be white tier or above, and above, I should say, in order to see that video. So I have it behind kind of a paywall of white tier members and above. Costs you $4.99 a month. All right, Nathan, he says he's ready. Let's do this. You let me know who you don't want in your lineups if they keep showing up. So we've got Sungjae and JT, and here we go. First lineup, JT, Sungjae, Tommy Fleetwood, Adam Scott, Cam Young, Aaron Rai. That's a really sexy lineup. That is so sexy. It deserves one of these. Trying to play it over the music. I need a thing that mutes the music. Let's do this again. That's what that song does to me. Or that's what that lineup does to me. It's a great lineup. Aaron Rai gets the boot. JT, Sungjae, Dietrich, Stevens, Adam Scott, Cam Young. That's a pretty good lineup too. Stevens is questionable by me. Too many events in a row. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. 2 9Ks to go with the 10K. 2 7s and a 6. This is right down the pass optimal and GPP winning lineup route that we just saw earlier. I think that works just fine. Thomas, Cantley, Im, Scott, Young, and Hoagie. Got no issues there. Do you like Cam Young that much? To be playing this much Cam Young? You let me know. JT, Im, Henley, Scott, Young, Grazerman. Grazerman's definitely a risk, but not terrible. There we go. Akshay. What a lineup. This is, okay. I like this lineup. Did I? Oh, I didn't do. I'll go back to it. I don't want to waste too much time. But we'll go ahead and put another song on the list. I'll do it for this lineup too. JT, Cantley, Im, Scott, Cam Young, Justin Rose. Oh yeah. JT, Cantley, Im, Scott, Young, Griffin. Do you want this much Cam Young? Pick Cam Young. Okay, there we go. I just saw it in the chat. Cam Young. You've just been kicked, Al.
You just made the list.
JT, Sungjae M, Henley, McIntyre, Scott, and Eric Cole. Pretty decent. JT, Cantley, Im, McNeely, Scott, and Hadwin. All right. Not terrible. Not terrible. Thomas, Cantley, Im, Scott, McCarthy, and Horschel. That'll make you different. That one's pretty solid. 10 seconds. JT, Im, Henley, Scott, Connors, and JT Poston. Okay, that one I like. That one's a good one. That one is pretty good. Let's see here. Which one did I like the most? Was it this one? Which one did I do the... Was it the Patillo one? Must have been. Either way, those were some juicy lineups, man. Juicy. All right, next person. Lombardi Lee, are you in? Are you in the chat? If so, tell me let's go. And we will start building lineups. He wants Victor and McNeely. Victor and Mavy Boy McNeely.
Danger zone.
He's here. Let's go. Okay. I got you, man. I got you. Messing with my soundboard. All right, we got the players locked in. You tell me who you don't like if they keep showing up. Cam Young's probably going to be one of them, so you let me know. Scheffler, Henley, Victor Hovland, McNeely, Cam Young, Adam Hadwin. Without, I mean, there's Cam Young. Nico, that's fine. Don't really care for it, but yeah, you're gonna have to let me know if you want Cam Young in your lineups. Here's a different one. We got Scheffler, Fleetwood, Hovland, McNeely, Aaron Rye, and Mackenzie Hughes. That one's not bad. Morikawa, Henley, Dietrich, Hovland, McNeely, and Thigala. That's a pretty solid lineup. It's very different. Very different. We'll make that one a spicy meatball. Morikawa, Henley, Dietrich, Hovland, McNeely. Oh, McNeely is the low guy, so I got to make someone else. I got to kick somebody else. You let me know if there's someone you don't like out of these. I'm going to kick out Thigala. He's the most untrustworthy one of them all. Ooh, we get Wyndham Clark in this lineup. There we go. We get Morikawa, Henley, Dietrich, Hovland, McNeely, Wyndham Clark. Do I play any of the PGA Tour 2 games for the console? No, I actually play it for the computer. And I might actually do some 2K streams. I'm going to use the designer tool to explain a lot of things in golf. So I'm going to build some golf courses, and that's literally what my next strokes gain video is going to be. I'm going to tell you all of the nuances with strokes gain stats, giving you all the different random shots that you can hit on a golf course that you might not even consider goes into strokes gain stats. So it will be kind of cool. It will be very immersive and creative. Okay, so I'm going to kick out Dietrich. I like Dietrich, but we're going to kick him out just to make this different. Ooh, I like this. Scheffler, Henley, Hovland, McNeely, Cam Young, and Jake Knapp. Pretty solid. Matsuyama, Cantley, Henley, Hovland, McNeely, and Aaron Rye. I love it. It's a pretty good lineup. We got to figure something out. Let's kick out Henley. Build you a couple more, despite there being 10 seconds left. Maybe I can get 2 in. Scheffler, Hovland, McNeely, Ryan, Cole. Could be better. Last one. Ben Griffin. Okay. Actually, I don't mind this one at all. Scheffler, Fleetwood, Hovland, McNeely, Aaron Ryan, Ben Griffin. That's pretty solid, man. I like that line. Okay. Good lineups there. Let's see who is on the list next. We get Austin Reed. You still here, sir?
You just made the list! No time for losers, cause I am the champion! The meatloaf! Fuck!
Paging Austin Reed. Sorry, I'm just messing with the soundboard. No, not trying to be disrespectful here. Just having fun. All right, so he wants Rory and Pendrith. Let's start building him some lineups. If he shows up, he can tell me who he likes and who he doesn't. Ah, he's there. There we go. He's ready. Rory and Pendrith. All right, your 3 minutes are on. Let me know who you like and who you dislike. So Cam Young will show up. He'll continue to show up. If you don't like Cam Young, we can remove him. Rory, Matsuyama, Pendrith, Young, Ryan, Hoagie. Let's see, what did you say? Kick Cam Young out from the start. Well, you get 1 Cam Young lineup, sir. He does not like Scam Young. He's like, no, thank you. Get out of here. Good luck, shot like Harden. Rory, Penrith, Burns, Finau, McCarthy, and Aaron Rye. You know what? That kind of deserves a little something, something. That lineup is sexy. Rory, Fleetwood, Pendrith, Poston, Batia. This has all the makings of what I just mentioned with the 7K combo buckets. Sign me up. Poston's getting the boot. We get McIlroy, Cantlay, Pendrith, Zalatoris, Seabez, and Nick Dunlap. There we go. This is the beauty of the bucket system. You're going to get random lineups based off of who you choose as your anchor plays. I don't hate it. I don't love Dunlap. I don't really like him with Bezzy, but that's fine. It's fine. This is a great lineup. This lineup is sexy. Like sexy. Like, oh yeah. Uh-oh. Copyright strike already. Played too much of that song. That lineup is this lineup is everything that I want my lineup to be. I am most likely stealing this one from you. You can use it, but I'm also going to use it. I love that. That's a great one, dude. Cam Davis and Seabez. This is another good lineup. Okay, so Rory Pendrith seems to be like a pretty decent start. You get the Harry Ish in here with Benny Ann. That's a great. Talk to a hot. Oh boy.
Gotta give him that hawk too and spit on that thing.
Or if you like.
Oh, you gotta give him that hawk too and spit on that thing. You get me?
This is a great lineup, dude. I'm really enjoying. This is another good lineup. You might have unlocked a cheat code. Yep, that one's fine too. By the way, if you like these lineups, I just recommend timestamping whatever it shows on the screen, like how long I've been live, or pausing the video and just screenshotting all the lineups that you like. I'll build you one more, but these have all been fantastic. Kevin Yu with Benny Ann, Dietrich. How about one more? I might just go until I can't build any more lineups. Berger, Cam Davis, Benny Ann, J-Day. Pretty fucking sweet, man. It's hot to a hot. Danny List. We're not going to play any Danny List. And then it breaks. There we go. It broke. We got to the end. Those are good lineups, man. Those were really good lineups. Those are sweet lineups. Let's see, how many did we get you? We got you 13. Cool. All right, next one on the list. We get Cody Gamble. Cody, are you in the stream? Awa and Sungjae.
You just made the list!
Oh yeah, it doesn't matter. Nothing matters, no.
Because I'm wild, yeah.
I didn't know I had that one.
Because I'm wild, yeah.
You know that I'm the cream of the crop.
Austin goes, those were way different than what I built myself, which is the whole point of this. Absolutely. I like building lineups at the end. Some people don't like this. Like, you'll get like the Rick Run Goods of the world, and you'll get like even Degen to some extent that hate this type of video, this type of stream, because it's like giving people lineups, like you're buying lineups from me, or you're just buying lineups. And that's not even the case. It's showcasing my optimizer. So it's, if you want the optimizer, I will send it to you. And then I'm showing you how you can use it. So like you get to see how I use it, what I look at, what I do to kick people out or to bring people back. And then at the same time, people who are coming into the channel for the very first time, you get to see how the bucket system creates lineups differently than what other optimizers do. So it's just putting it all together. I think this is like it's supposed to be thought-provoking. Am I giving you lineups? Yes. I'm not telling you where to put them, so I'm not breaking DraftKings TOS. DraftKings TOS blatantly says giving lineups out and telling them which contest to put them in. I'm just building you guys lineups, not telling you where to put them. I'm not even saying you should play this lineup or you shouldn't. I'm just saying, oh, that lineup's great. And I'm giving you guys ideas on how to build some of these lineups. Optimizer request. I am so sorry for those that are waiting for it. I see them in my email, so I will send them to you right now. Austin, okay, there we go, Austin. I see you. Just so you know, you need to have the full Microsoft package. So you have to have the full version of Excel. I have that written into one of the tabs, just so you know. And if you got any questions, just reach out. But I just sent you the optimizer. But yeah, you can follow along with what I just put on there. All right, so I don't have Cody Gamble with me. Is that what I'm seeing? All right. So Cody wants Morikawa and Sungjae. We are just going to start building lineups. If you were here, Cody, let me know and we can pick people out as we see them come in or as they show up a lot. But here we go. Kawa, M, Henley, Dietrich, Scott, and Aaron Ryan. Oh, Cody is here. There we go. This lineup's pretty good. I like that lineup quite a bit. Morikawa, M, Henley, Scott, Young, and Wyndham Clark. I love it. Do you like Cam Young? If you don't like Cam Young, I'm going to bring back Wyndham Clark and I'll kick Cam Young out. I'm going to build another lineup as it is, but you let me know. I really want to bring Wyndham back. Maybe you don't like Wyndham. That's fine. Johnny Two Bets, what's up, man? I can run that, Johnny Two Bets. I'll put those golfers in the optimizer and just read what the conditionals have. But yeah, it looks good. You can keep Cam. Okay, cool. Cool. This is a great lineup. Morikawa, M, Henley, Scott, Young, and Batia. I think that one's fine. Oh, no. I'm trying to skip commercials. I don't want to hear the commercials. This is a great lineup. Did I save it? I did. Okay. It's actually deserving of one of these. And I didn't have time to do it. This one's interesting. Morikawa, M, Henley, McIntyre, Scott, and Mac Hughes. Hey, don't disrespect a 6K golfer, even if Mac Hughes doesn't seem like a good play. Same with Hoagie. Don't disrespect a 6K golfer. This one is pretty solid. Morikawa, Cantlay, this will be really different. Morikawa, Cantlay, M, Scott, Young, and Tom Hoagie. Not terrible. By the way, for those that are new in the chat, I just have to mention it because I just saw Johnny come in. If we get to 25 likes, I'm giving away 5 YouTube memberships. 5. And that will be constant throughout all my videos. If we get to 25 likes, I'll give away. And actually, this will apply even after it goes live. So those watching it on replay, you're all the way to this point, like the channel or like the video. And if we get up to 25, I'll actually give away 5 memberships in next week's video. So we'll just keep it going. Keep it going. Morikawa, M, Henley, Dietrich, Young, and McCarthy. I love that lineup. That's a really good lineup. So much so it's worth highlighting. Billy Ho. I don't hate it. Don't love it. Don't hate it. I'll build you a couple more, although the time's out. Maybe I don't have to, because that's a pretty tasty lineup. Morikawa, Cantley, Im, Scott, Young, and Justin Rose. I'm going to do one thing. I'm going to bring back Wyndham. I'm going to cut out Cam Young. And I'm also going to cut out Adam Scott. Just because those two golfers have been showing up a lot. I just want to see a little bit of diversity. Oh, I should bring back Justin Rose too. Here you go. Morikawa, Im, Henley, Dietrich, Hovland, and Griffin. I will bring back Justin Rose. Anybody else? No. All right, let's see if Justin Rose shows up here. Maybe, maybe not. No, but Brian Harmon does. I don't. Yeah, it's interesting. It's a very interesting lineup. I can't say that I hate it because it could very well work. I'm gonna kick out Dietrich though. Last one. This is the last one. Hadwin and Cole. Ooh, very top heavy. McIlroy, Morikawa, Im, McNeely, Cole, and Hadwin. I don't know if it'll work, but it is different. It's built different. Never fall in love with the hope. Words from a wise man. Look at this 10, 9, 8, 7, 7, 6 lineup. Okay, that's the good one to end on. That one's pretty good. Morikawa, Im, Henley, Hovland, Thigala, and Bezzy. All right. What was that? 14 lineups? 13. There we go. Lucky number 13. Alrighty then. Moving on to the next one. Scheffler and Burns. Throw back up. I lost my spot. Bill Smart, are you still in the channel, sir? Then I got AJ on deck. Okay. Bill is here. There we go.
Very good. Okay, very good. Oh, yeah, it doesn't matter. Nothing matters, no.
Scheffler, Burns, nothing matters. This is the Chalet Cardin special. Burnsy and Scheffler are his dudes. Here we go. Timer is on the clock. You let me know. Do you like Cam Young or not? Because we know Clark, Scott, or Young, please. Okay. There's Scott and Young just for you. And Mac Hughes. I'm saving it just to spite you. All right. No Clark, Scott. All right. All right. All right. All right. Let's go. No Scott. Clark is down here and no Young. Look at that. That group of people all by themselves. All right. Here we go. He was like, no, stop it. We get Scheffler, Burns, Finau, Dietrich, Rye, and Hoagie. Okay. That's rye bread on Hoagie. It'd be great if there was a guy's name like Salami or Bologna or whatever. Some kind of sandwich meat. Scheffler, Burns, Dietrich, Hovland, Horschel, Aaron, Rye. All right. Not a fan of two price tags being together, but that obviously has been proven different in the past. Not a big deal. Scheffler, Day, Burns, Hovland, Rye, Hadwin. Okay. It's like meh. Scheffler, Burns, Dietrich, Minwoo Lee. First Minwoo spotting. McCarthy and Aaron Rye. That's not terrible. No same salaries. I don't have that as a rule, but yeah, I don't personally like the same salaries. Here's a lineup. Scheffler, Burns, Dietrich, Hovland, Rye, and Justin Rose. Do we like that much Aaron Rye, by the way? That's 4 lineups in a row. I think we have Aaron Rye. Another one with Aaron Rye. Thigala, Dietrich, Batia, Rye. Seen a bit of a trend, which is good because it's narrowing down the players you can choose. Yeah, it's a lot of Dietrich. Let's kick Dietrich out. You might like Dietrich, but we've seen enough Dietrich. I'm going to bring back some of these $6,400 golfers and buy some of them, just 2 of them. And I'm going to bring back Batia and go from there. You're kind of into it? Okay. Scheffler, Day, Burns, McNeely, Rye, and Eric Cole. Terrible. We get more Aaron Rye. Scheffler, Burns, McIntyre, Hovland. Did we do this one? No, we have not. Okay, that's different. McIntyre, Hovland. This is of Dietrich. Got it. It's not terrible. More Aaron Rye. Cam Davis, McNeely, and Hovland. Okay. Finau and Nick Taylor. And last one. Scheffler, Burns, Hovland, McNeely, Connors, Ben Griffin. 10, 8, 7, 7, 7, 6. All right. Did I like any of those so much that I want to highlight them? Yeah, that one's good. This one's iffy. That's all I got for you. I just don't want, I wouldn't want that much Aaron Rye. It's like live or die Aaron Rye. You have Aaron Rye in all of the lineups except for 2. This one right here, because we kicked out Adam Scott and Cam Young, and this one up here, which actually has Corey Connors as the 2nd lowest price guy. That's pretty solid, actually. Now that I think of it, that's pretty solid. Making those yellow because they're like iffy for me. He always does good though. Aaron Rye, hey, again, if you can anchor around more than say 2 golfers and you're anchoring around 3 golfers, it just narrows down your ability to target the optimal lineup, which it's just like you're narrowing your vision and like focusing on trying to hit the optimal lineup. I got no issue with it. M. Day Cantlay. I think AJ Love, this is what you want. I think you just said it just for fun, but or you said it because it's the lineups you want built. You let me know if that's not correct. All right. Yep, you got it. Thanks. I'll take that. Scheffler, Burns, Hovland, McNeely, Connors, Griffin. There you go, man. Perfect. Alrighty. But you... Timer is on. Here we go. You let me know. Do you like Cam Young? Do you like Adam Scott? And do you like Thomas Dietrich? They will show up a lot. And here we go. Starting off with Cantlay, M, Day, McNeely, Scott, and Cam Young. Not terrible. You let me know, man. You let me know. Cantlay, M, Day, Minwoo Lee, Adam Scott, Cam Young. That one's not terrible. Again, Adam Scott and Cam Young. Do we like it? Sam UL Stevens. I trust the process, he says. All right. Benny Ann. Well, part of the process, though, is diversifying your quote-unquote portfolio. So we can kick some of these guys out. Here, Cantlay, M, Day, Henley, Young, Rye. That's not terrible. Burnsy, Adam Scott, Denny McCarthy. It's a pretty solid lineup, dude. 2 9s, 2 8s, a 7, and a 6. It's a good cash game lineup, good league lineup. JT Cantlay, M, Day, Hoagie, and Mac Hughes. Look at this. 10, 9, 9, 8, 6, 6. That has shown up when we looked at past optimal lineups. That did show up in one of them. I don't know which one it was, and I'm not sure if it was Sweet Spot Optimal, or GPP winning, but it did show up. 998877. You're like, if it's not a 9, 4 8s, and a 7, that's your. This would be your most balanced build. Cantlay, Im, Day, English, Scott, and Cam Young. It's not bad. Cantlay, Im, Day, Hovland, Cam Young, Si Woo, Kim. Andrew Novak shows up with Dietrich and Cam Young. Okay, I'm kicking out Cam Young. I'm going to kick out Adam Scott. Anybody else I want to bring back? We can bring back McNeely and Minwoo. Who else do I want to bring back? Yeah, that's good. 30 seconds left. Cantlay, Im, Day, Henley, Mack, and yeah, see, it just 2 9s, 3 8s, and a 6. That just is different. I like it. Thomas, Dietrich, Eric Cole. Okay, if I see one more Thomas, I don't think we will. Unless they're going to be low 6. Yeah, okay. So Dietrich's going. He's gone. Wyndham Clark, Billy Horschel. Love it. See, that was a great substitution. Cantlay, Im, Day, Henley, Clark, Horschel. Connors and Bezzy. They're both the same type of golfer. I'll build you one more. Cantlay, Im, Day, Henley, Clark, Jay, Rose. Yeah, sign me up for that lineup. That's another good lineup. Cool. Those were some good ones. I really like that. You are welcome, AJ. Johnny 2 bets. Let me. You're really close to me checking your lineups. I just have a couple more people to get through. That was AJ and now John Bizzle. John, are you in the chat by chance? John, let me know if you're in the chat. All right, actually, yeah. So Johnny, you're next after this. I'll build these lineups. And then you are next. I'll check out your lineup, and then I will build lineups for you for what you just provided. All right, so we got Rory, Henley, and Cam Davis. There we go. Okay, cool. See how many lineups we can build with these. Timer's on. Here we go. Again, do you like Cam Young? Do you like Adam Scott? Do you like Thomas Dietrich? This lineup is Rory, Hideki, Henley, Cam Young, Cam Davis, Aaron Rye. Pretty solid. Do we have to kick someone out? I'm going to kick out Aaron Rye. No stress on my behalf. Just throwing it out whenever. Yeah, you got it, man. I'm listening, but may have to put the phone down off and on. No worries. Oh, kick Young right away. Gotcha. That makes sense. Let me bring back Aaron Rye then. We go McIlroy, Cantlay, Henley, Dietrich. So 10-9, 2 8s, and 2 6s. Davis and Eric Cole. Not terrible. McIlroy, Fleetwood, Henley, Dietrich, Cam Davis, Tom Hoagie. That one isn't terrible either. I will have to manually kick out Hoagie though. Actually like that lineup. That lineup was good. McIlroy, Morikawa, Henley, Benny Ann, Cam Davis, and Adam Hadwin. 2 10s, an 8, a 7, and 2 6s. This is getting different. Crazy. Poston adds with Rory, Morikawa, Henley. All right. Hey, man. I got no issue with this. Just unique. McIlroy, Henley, Burns, Finau, Cam Davis, and Denny McCarthy. These are some of the most unique lineups I think have happened tonight. They're interesting. McIlroy, Henley, Burns, Benny Ann, Wyndham Clark, Cam Davis. Sign me up. I like that lineup a lot. Let's see here. Young is gonna win. Watch. I know, dude. This has happened to us before. It has. Where the optimizer absolutely loves somebody and we're just like, ick. This is gross. Don't play that guy. And he just ends up dominating. I'm gonna kick out Benny Ann. I do think this is a good course for Benny Ann, but I want to see what the optimizer will do. I want to see some breakup, like in the 8K range. McIlroy, Henley, Burns, Finau, Davis, Bezzy. That one's perfectly fine. We add Daniel Berger to the mix with this 10 and 3 8Ks. That's insane. 10 and 3 8s. Ooh. This is the good one to end on for your lineups. McIlroy, Henley, Burns, Zalatoris, Wyndham Clark, and Cam Davis. Do one more and see if I like it. I don't. Adds Harris English to it. It's fine, but not something I absolutely love. Those 10 lineups, John. But yeah, that last one with Willie Zalatoris in there, sign me up, dude. I like that one. I'm going to try one more, see what it does. You are welcome, sir. Michael Kim. J-Day, 3 8Ks once again. All right. I think it's just Johnny 2 bets. So Rory, Hovland, Hovland 7,900. Eric, come on. Cammy Boy Davis, Lowry, Straka. What was Lowry again? He's not in the 7K range, is he? No, he's 8,800. So Lowry, Cam Young. It's 4 golfers. I need Davis and Straka. Sepp Straka. All right, let's see. It looks good just from Marquee Tee Time perspective. All right, Johnny. Let's see here. We look at the last year buckets, everything passes. We pick 2 last year ones, everything else are 1-1s. Everything in the last week bucket works out too. We want 2 last week ones and no more than 4, and we're perfect there. Everything's perfect here with the course history buckets. Everything's perfect here with the recent form buckets. Everything's perfect with strokes gained. Everything's perfect with salaries. Oh, you've got 2 golfers in game 2, which is fine. I mean, honestly, if that's how you want it to happen, and you have 5 total Marquee Tee Time golfers. So game 2, who's in game 2? We've got Rory and Hovland. All right, let's see what the optimizer would do without Hovland. I think it's an okay lineup, and you can build that lineup. Obviously, the Marquee Tee Times we've had, you know, golfers from the same group in GPP winning lineups as well as optimal lineups. I think that's fine. Let's just see what a substitution could be. Nothing. It breaks. Wow. What, I mean, I guess what, we just do this and just see if it changes. Nope. So it was just that. I mean, everything looked good except for the fact that Hovland is paired up with Rory. So yeah, if you don't care about the Marquee Tee Times, then by all means, that lineup fit all the bucket credentials except for that last one. I want to see if I can just make substitutions with any of these guys and make it work out. Oh, no, we can't. We got to kick out Got to kick out Hovland. So I'm kicking out Hovland and Straka. See what that does. It does build a lineup. 6,900. Or I mean 49.9. Jesus. 69. Where did you get 6,900 from? And this would be McIlroy, Lowry, Burns, Stevens, Cam Young, Cam Davis. Let's kick out Stevens. See what else, like if there's really truly other lineups we can build. We get the Hogsters in there and we add Cantley. So you get 10-9-8, 7-6-6, which is a very common salary structure build for optimal or GPP winning lineups. Pretty solid. I'll kick out Hoagie and see if we can find another substitution. McIlroy, Fleetwood, Lowry, Young, Davis, and Denny McCarthy. It's not another 10-9-8, 7-6-6. Take out Denny and try it one more time. So you said nice, strangely. I didn't hear your recent form bucket. Had to pick up the phone. Oh, recent porn buckets? Yeah, no, we got those too. Recent porn bucket. Yeah. Kidding. McIlroy, Cantley, Lowry, Young, Davis, and Nick Taylor. There you go. That is very different. Follows the buckets. Obviously, we can't use, or we didn't use Hovland and Sepp Straka. Instead, we replaced them with Cantley and Nick Taylor. So that's pretty solid. Let me see, what was your other request that you had? What about Rory, Straka, Cam D? Okay. Yeah, we can do that because we obviously just kicked out Straka in that last one. So I can build you 10 lineups this way. Rory, Straka, Cammy Boy D. Thing looks good. All right, I'm going to put 3 minutes on the clock and we'll build some lineups. The Cantley lineup was solid. Yeah, I agree. Hovland definitely isn't a lock. Just seems too cheap. Yeah, I agree with that as well. All right, so we get just locking in Straka, McIlroy, and Cam Davis. We get Morikawa added with that, Cam Young, and Aaron Rai. Not terrible. Not, that's not terrible. I'm gonna kick out Rai. Who do we want to kick out? Rai or... I don't want to kick out Morikawa, and Cam Young seems like it's a golfer that you chose before to have in lineups. McIlroy, Henley, Finau, Straka, Young, and Davis. Okay. I'm actually going to kick out Cam Young. I mean, 34%. He was chosen 34% lineups tonight. We can diversify our portfolio. And we go into McIlroy, Cantley, Burns, Straka, Davis, and Mac Hughes. That one's not terrible. I would much rather kick out Hughes than anyone else. Worried Kawa might blow away. Yeah, but he has played well in wind and other weather. We kind of overreact with that sometimes, but I don't disagree with you. I don't think he'll blow away, but I also don't think his game is super strong with, you know, terrible weather. McIlroy, Fleetwood, Henley, Straka, Davis, and Tom Hoagie. That one's fine. I'm going to kick out Hoagie, though. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to run away from Morikawa. I just like Rory and Scheffler too much to really pay attention much to Morikawa this week. But if you wanted to get really different from me and the rest of the sheep, I imagine starting with Kawa will make you very different. I don't really care for Grazerman, to be quite honest with you. I think the withdrawal a couple weeks ago still worries me, and he didn't play that great last week. Okay, here you go. This is the lineup you ended on. This was fantastic. A great lineup. This one I really, really like. Really, really like that lineup. I think that's the end of the lineups that people asked for. Yep. You're good with kicking young. I could probably build. Yes, get to 100. Ben Griffin, don't really care. You're getting that 10-9-8-8 with Burns and Cantlay. Brian Harmon, so it's another like replacement you could do. Nick Dunlap, so it's just keeping these 5 golfers and just kind of cycling through the other 6Ks. Okay, now we get a little different. McIlroy, Henley, Straka, Zalatoris, Benny Ann, and Cam Davis. So if you wanted to go a little more balanced, like a 10-8-8, you could go that way. Johnny Two Bets, you're welcome, man. McIlroy, Fleetwood, Burns, Straka, Davis, McCarthy. Yeah, I like that lineup. Save it. I'll save it. I ain't scared. All right, let's recap this. So tonight, building lineups. The optimizer chose 0% Ludwig Oberg. 0. The metric I have from him comes from the model. Matsuyama, Cantlay have higher metric points than Ludwig do, but not by a lot. Still, you know, it's still significant. Whereas the optimizer is going to choose, I mean, it chose Cantlay because Cantlay ends up being a value. And that's primarily why Oberg was not chosen. And then salary caps, probably the big issue too, because we went with Rory and we went with Scheffler. So putting Oberg in a lineup is probably a bit too challenging. We had 42% Sung Jae, by the way. 7% Fleetwood, 0% Tom Kim, 0% Irish Bear, Shane Lowry, 0% Jordan Spieth, 0% Rasmus Højgaard, 0% Keegan Bradley. Why is that? Well, Sung Jae is in the same group as Keegan. That's probably why. And Cam Davis. So we did choose Cam Davis quite a bit, and the optimizer likes Cam Davis more than it likes these guys because of his price tag. He just fits better lineups. We also had 0% Mark Hubbard, but we're not really pushing to play Mark Hubbard. 0% Davis Thompson. We also aren't really pushing to play him. 0% past US Open champion Matt Fitzpatrick. His game is a bit dicey anyways, so that's totally fine. Not a big deal. I am very interested to see what the best Jordan Spieth lineups look like. He is in group 5, which has Ludwig in there, so obviously we're not going to be playing Ludwig. Oh, Dietrich is also a reason why Ludwig probably was not chosen, is because Dietrich was chosen quite a bit. Who was Henley in Tee Time with? Henley is not in a Marquee Tee Times, so we don't really keep track of that. But we can go ahead and take a look here. Henley, 8,600. See in the bottom? Oh, right here. He's with Benny Ann and JT Poston. So I'm sure we built some Henley and Benny Ann lineups. And that was probably by accident, but it's not a part of the Marquee Tee Time, so hard to keep track of that. If we build a Jordan Spieth lineup, we get Morikawa, Cantlay, Burns, Scott, and Hughes. Of course we get Adam Scott. Let's say no to Morikawa. See what other Jordan Spieth lineup we can build. Cantlay Henley, Spieth, Finau, so 3 8Ks and 2 7s. So yeah, very balanced build, and it's a solid lineup. What if I don't like Cam Young? Scheffler, Cantlay, Spieth, Scott, Hughes, and Eric Cole. Okay, so we get Scheffler. Cantlay is definitely a huge value. 1081 is the metric. He has a higher metric than Justin Thomas and is $700 cheaper. Does not have a better metric than Morikawa, but does Oberg and Cantlay. So we'll kick out Cantlay and see what other lineups we can build. Okay, so we get Scheffler, Henley, Spieth, Scott, Rye, and Mac Hughes. I'm gonna kick out Henley. So Henley's another good value. Scheffler, Day, of course. Adam Scott, Rye. So let's kick out Adam Scott. Yeah, there's not like, you go with Scheffler, you're not really building a lot of unique lineups. I really don't like any of these lineups. They're very, I don't know. Boring is the wrong word to use, but they are boring. I don't want to play Matsuyama this many. Like, he's now played 5 out of 6 weeks. He played 4 out of 5 weeks last week and didn't really play all that well. I kind of anticipate the same. I do like Matsuyama in high wind type of tournaments, but I do not want Matsuyama. All right. This is very different. Scheffler, Spieth, Burns, Hovland, Rye, and Hughes. I'm trying to build some Jordan Spieth lineups that are appealing, and I'm not getting anything that I really like. Spieth, Finau, Hovland, Rye, Hoagie. Yeah, dude, these, I don't know. Scheffler kind of building, I mean, if I wanted a Spieth lineup, I want to see what Scheffler looks like with him. 10, 8, 8, 7, 6, 6. Yeah, that's fine, but it's not really what I'm searching for. I'm going to kick out Rye and I'm going to kick out Hoagie. I don't want to see those guys together. Scheffler, Spieth, Hovland, Clark. I don't want Grazerman. I don't even know if I even really care about Denny McCarthy at this event. Scheffler, Spieth, Hovland, McNeely, Clark, Ben Griffin. It's fine. You know what? I forgot to do roll call 2. Actually, no. Here's what I'll do for roll call 2. For those that participated in giving me lineups, I will put your names here. Anybody in the chat right now, just put in, let's hit the sweet spot. And I'll give you... I will give you an entry into the giveaway. I forgot. I need like a reminder to put on here. Okay. And then Johnny 2 bets. Dave Dean, what's up, man? And there's Ryan in the chat just lurking. Oh. Oh, he just gave me a lineup. Okay. I'll build you a lineup. Ooh, I like this. Let me get rid of Ben Griffin. I do like Hovland, McNeely, Clark. Yeah, I just want 2 7Ks this week at most. I don't know if I want 3. 10, 9, 8, 7, 7, 6. That one's actually pretty solid. Don't mind it. 10, 8, 8, 8. Oh. I mean, it's doable, but I don't love it. Try that masterpiece. Okay, Ryan. All right. The 7K golfers I want to see. I do want to see. Okay, hold on. You know what? I'll get back to it. I'll build like, I have an idea and I'll build them at the end. I'll do this for Ryan first. I'll give him three minutes. Rory. Pendrith Straka. Gary Woodland. All right. Timer's on. And let me pin that. We'll build some lineups. We'll see what it looks like. It breaks. Come on, Ryan. What? How? What are you over on? Recent form ones? Yeah, of course it's a reason. You have one too many. Here, I'll appease you though. Oh yeah, that's the one we chose. We weren't sure. No, of course this Retus is the one we were. I love the exercise and roster construction. Tomorrow I will have a pool of names and we will know the weather more. There you go, man. What it's all about. All right, Ryan, since we're bending the rules for you, pal, here you go. You get Rory, Tommy Fleetwood, Pendrith Straka, Woodland, and Tom Hoagie. Not terrible. Looks pretty good. Take Woodland out. You got the... I sent you the optimizer, by the way. I don't know if you saw that. McIlroy, Fleetwood, Pendrith Straka, Woodland, and Eric Cole. Yeah, let's take out Woodland. Bring back the rules. Disciplined people here. We follow the rules. McIlroy, Pendrith, Burns, Straka, Young, and Mac Hughes. Solid. J-Day and Hadwin get in this lineup. Pick out Hughes and I forget who it was. Nico, I'm not playing. I don't think I'm going to play any Nico this week. He sucks on POA. Jake Knapp, though. McIlroy, Pendrith, Day, Straka, Young, Jake Knapp. The Napper. The Knapper. Ooh, Rory, Fleetwood, Pendrith, Straka, Rye, and Eric Cole. Not a huge Eric Cole fan this week. Too much golf in a row, man. Too much golf. McIlroy, Pendrith, Burns, Straka, Young, and Griffin. Yeah, that's fine. I imagine you probably like Ben Griffin this week. It's actually pretty good, actually. Actually. 1.7K is fine. Harmon, sure. We don't really love Harmon, but sure. There we go. McIlroy, Penrith, Straka, Zalatoris, Young, and Aaron Rai. Not terrible, man. Not terrible. All right. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go down here. We're going to choose 1 out of 4 AM golfers. Shank probably having his baby this week or next. That's cool. We were wondering that last week. He was on top of the leaderboard for a little while, and then he just kind of fell away. All right. Okay, so based off of... by the way, Ryan, we kind of talked about the 7K combo buckets, although we didn't really have 7K combo buckets this week. I did mention that the fact that we did. I mean, this is the week where I won $1,800 last year by following the 7K combo buckets. And here are the 7K golfers: McNeely, Bradley, Wyndham Clark, and Batia. So those are the 4 dudes. So this is how I do this. If I want to make sure I select at least one of them. It was McNeely and Bradley. So I changed these to AM golfers because there's no real weather wave, no wave. So it's those 2, and then it's Clark and Batia. So I just change these to AM golfers. Clark and Batia. So now it's going to make sure it selects at least one of them. I can have it make it choose 2. Let's see what happened. Because I want to play at least one of those dudes. So there we go. We get McNeely with Rory, Cantlay, and Henley. I don't really care for Henley that much, if I'm being honest. I think he can play well. I just don't. And Cantlay. I don't want that much Cantlay. This one's fine. Scott and Cam Young. I don't. Was there one guy I didn't want out of those 2? Oh, they're both okay. Man, it's difficult. Here, I want to do this. I want to change this also to a 4. These course history 2s, it's the max projection's at 2.99, and I kind of ran a vote. What should we do? Keep it at 3 or move it to 4? And everyone said keep it at 4. Although it doesn't matter in this one. It's pretty good though. This lineup is solid. 10, 9, 8, and 3 7s. Yeah, sign me up with that one. I don't want to kick out Wyndham Clark though. Oh man, I really don't want to see that much Adam Scott and Cam Young, but I don't want to remove them completely. I almost wish I could create a different pool and put them all in there, but if I remove Scotty or Adam Scott, maybe I can add someone else. Rory Kawa, I like that. Burns, Clark, Batia, and Hughes. Okay. I'm going to bring back Batia, and I'm going to kick out Hughes. Just going to build a couple more, and then I'm probably going to call it a night. I don't care for Hadwin. Rory, Cantlay, Burns, yeah. I'm also not that huge on Cantlay, so let's kick him out. I don't mind playing Cantlay this week, but I'm not trying to force that in. J-Day. Okay. Rye over Clark? I don't think so. I'm also going to limit my 8Ks to 2. So despite, the buckets having their own rules, you can also create your own rules and keep it within the rules. So I removed 3 8Ks from being chosen, but I didn't, completely limit the 8K range at all. Or, just completely. I don't want, what? I'll let Aaron Rai show up one more time. Yeah, so something like this is fine. McIlroy, Day, Burns, Minwoo Lee, Clark, Rye. I don't want that much. I don't want that much Rye. And like we chose him 25% tonight. So the optimizer likes Rye. And I would never play Rye more than 6 to 8%. I'm never going to play him more than that. McIlroy, Morikawa, Dietrich, Seaman. This is really interesting because it's kind of not choosing Scotty. It's more or less choosing two 10Ks and just saying, nah, I don't want Scotty. Rory, Fleetwood, Burns, Dietrich, Clark, Ben Griffin. I like that lineup a lot. Pretty good. McIlroy, Morikawa, Fleetwood, Batia, McCarthy, and Dunlap. I'm not saving it. 10-9-8, 7-7-6. Okay, sure. Don't really care for Thigala, but that's fine. Razorman over Batia, huh? A solid lineup. Yeah, it's a really good lineup. I don't really care for Grazerman over Batia. No. I don't think I'm playing Brian Harman in any scenario. This one is fantastic. McIlroy, Morikawa, Burns, Clark, Cam Davis, and Justin Rose. Yeah, sign me up, dude. Sign me the hell up. I'm going to bring back Rose, and I'm actually going to kick out Morikawa. I really, really wanted to choose Scotty. McIlroy, Matsuyama, Burns, Clark, Batia, Horschel. Yeah, sign me up for that one too. I'm not a huge Horschel guy, but in a lineup like that, that's totally fine. Yep, Justin Rose, of course, sign me up. So I'm also going to kick out Matsuyama. This is what you can do with the optimizer. You can bring some of these guys back. This is fine, yeah. And you just keep building different iterations of the lineup until you can't build anymore. Here we go. Keegan. Yeah, sign me up, dude. Rory, Fleetwood, Burns, Bradley, Clark, and Rose. Yeah. Bradley is one of those 7K golfers that are showing up quite a bit. Or not showing up. Like in the combo buckets that we want to play. I'm going to kick out Burns. I don't like Burns on POA, but he's not a terrible play. There we go. We finally get a Scotty lineup with 3 7Ks with JJ Spawn that I don't really care for, but I'll just save it for the time being. I care for it, but it's fine. Scotty, Pendrith, Victor Hovland, Clark, Cam Davis, and Justin Rowe. Sign me up, dude. That's a great lineup. I'm actually going to get rid of Cam Davis. And bring, actually, you know what? No, I'll kick out Rose. We'll kick out Rose for now. Bezzy with Davis, Clark, Hovland, Pendrith with Scotty. Yeah, I want to see Scotty Fleetwood lineups. Hovland, Clark, Fitzpatrick, and Nick Taylor. That's just different, all by itself right there. Scotty, McIntyre, Hovland, Bradley, Siwoo Kim, and Novak. Okay, it's different. Johnny Two Bet says new site looks good. I'll check it out on desktop tomorrow, but mobile is solid. Yeah, mobile is a whole different monster. You gotta create things differently for it, and that's I like. I update desktop more than I do mobile, but I definitely try to make mobile a little easier. And when I build my tools on Power BI, I keep in mind mobile because I test it out myself. and I, you know, with thumbs and zooming in, zooming out, and just seeing how well it works. So if you got any recommendations or requests or suggestions, let me know, and I will either consider them or make the changes or compromise with you on what I think might be a better way to do it. Yeah, a lifetime member reached out and was like, hey, you should add, you know, these filters, because I want to know when a player is over $12,000, like how often that person's in an optimal lineup, or how often that guy's in a GPP winning lineup or a sweet spot optimal. And I want to know what the common lineup structure is. And I'm like, geez, that didn't really come about. I didn't really think about that, but I also kind of felt the same way, because it's like, well, shoot, 12,000 is way more than 11. And I'd like to know how often a 12,000 is a part of a 10-9-8-7-7-6 lineup, because I consider $12,000 golfers $10,000 golfers. But yeah, it was fun. I like taking suggestions, any recommendations to make the site better, because not only is it for me, but it's for you guys too. Like I built it primarily the way I envision a site that I want to use. But I'm all game for updating it for other people, especially if it just makes sense. Do you like the trio of McIntyre, Scott, Batia, or Henley, Rose, Clark? That's fine. That's not terrible. Ooh, the first Daniel Berger lineup. McIntyre, Hovland with Novak. Interesting. Okay. Novak and Woodland. Yeah, so I kind of want to bring back some of these guys and kick out Pendrith. Rory, Fleetwood, Tom Kim, Poston, Batia, Cam Davis. Yeah, that's a good lineup too. Here we go. We're getting into the weird lineups. Scheffler, Pendrith, Hovland, Clark, Davis, and Glover. Yeah, I don't hate that one either. I do not want Echeverria. It's a decent lineup. I just don't want Echeverria. Jake Knapp, though. Sure. Rory, Sungjae, Day. Yeah, that's a really good lineup. I do like Knapp. Let's see. Don't want Novak anymore. J-Day is fine. I don't mind J-Day. Scheffler, Pendrith, Hovland, Clark, Davis, and Ricky Fowler. I mean, Ricky Fowler just withdrew. I don't know if he got sick or what. Seamus Power. Rory, Fleetwood, Day. Yeah, I'll do that. Don't care for Seamus Power at this golf course, but just to be different, that's fine. All right, so now we finally get a balanced one. Fleetwood, Pendrith, Tom Kim, Hovland, Bradley, and Clark. Yeah, okay. So let me do a couple more and then I'm getting out of here. I want him back. I want McNeely back. I'm going to kick out Pendrith. We'll keep these guys kicked out. Russell Henley can stay kicked out. Same with Dietrich, Minwoo. All those guys can be continued. Oh, I'm going to bring back... Sure. Poston. Those guys kicked out. Back Rose. Anybody else? Nope. Jake Knapp. Okay, let's see what this does. Scheffler, McIntyre, Hovland, McNeely, Clark, and Rose. I think we already saved this one. We did not. Wow, okay. Let's kick out Hovland just because we're unsure. We'll bring back Rose. McElroy, Fleetwood, love it already. Day, McNeely, Batia, and Rose. Yeah, sign me up, dude. That is the lineup. Yeah. Oh, I love that lineup. That lineup is really good. I want Fleetwood this week. Fleetwood might be my one and done. Actually, no. Let's kick him out. Let's see what I want to see what a Steven Yeager lineup looks like. He's in Group 8. Who else is in Group 8? These guys, Lowry and Day. Ooh, that's why we're not seeing any Yeager. Yeah, sign me the fuck up. Scheffler, Fleetwood, McNeely, Bradley, Rose, and Yeager. I don't like the two $6,400 price tags together, but that's fine for now. Oh, I put yes for Rose. Okay, that's why. Stupid me. Benny Ann. That's a Rory, Fleetwood, McIntyre, McNeely, Benny Ann, and Steven Yeager lineup. Okay. I'm going to kick out Benny Ann. It's interesting you didn't choose Bradley. There must be something weird there. Zalatoris and Thigala goes with Yeager. I like that. Man. It's so close. Like, I want to see Scotty. Can we not put Scotty and maybe Knapp with Yeager and whoever? We get the Harry Ish. 1098 776. Okay. The Harry Ish is getting the kick, but I like it. Ooh, Oberg. Oh, Zalatoris, McNeely. Yeah, sign me the... That was a great lineup. It just takes some time, and it's like that part of that time of the night where it's like hitting this. I mean, I think I should just coin it. It's like hitting the sweet spot of lineup building. The more you do it, the more you see, the more you can actually, you know, build. I'm gonna kick out Rory and see what else it'll give me. But I love that lineup. That's my favorite lineup of the night. And so it kind of like replaces the same golfers we just had. I don't mind it. I don't want to see McIntyre though. I would much rather see Finau in this lineup than McIntyre. Let's see if it'll do the change. Ooh, sign me up. Scheffler, Fleetwood, McNeely, yeah. I want McNeely, Poston, Batia as fringe golfers to put in my lineup. Okay, cool. Poston's getting the boot. That's okay. There we go. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Finau, Zalatoris, McNeely, Batia. Yeah. Yeager is just a placeholder. I'm not sure if Yeager is absolutely needed, but it's nice to see these lineups being built with him in it. Oh man, do I go without Zalatoris? Can I just, let me try to lock in Fleetwood. This might break it. It doesn't. Oh yeah. Yes, that's exactly what I'm looking for. I don't know why it's choosing an 8K golfer, but I want Scheffler and Fleetwood together. Jake Knapp makes things work out. I bet you Hadwin would as well. But I'm going to kick out Straka. Come on. If you give me Finau with Fleetwood and Scheffler, I'll be super happy. Doesn't happen. Actually, Eck wrote. Do I care? Sure, we'll do it just for now. Michael, sure. These are getting interesting. JT, Fleetwood, and Højgaard. Okay. I'm cool with these lineups, man. For you guys that are staying around, this is like me like nerding out and enjoying the process, giving me lineups that I want to build. Okay, so Yeager probably doesn't really do it, but let's see what Rose, just having Rose open, what will that do with Fleetwood? Scheffler, Fleetwood, okay. Yeah, but we already saved this lineup, right? How did we not save that lineup? I'm geeking out over lineups that probably aren't even going to be that good. Out of this lineup, what would I want change? Can you even change anything? I mean, I would need two 6Ks if we were to put... All right, let's see what we can do. Let's do that and put in Finau. Bring back Rose. I want to see if it just... I want to see if Knapp gets added or Kevin Yu. It doesn't. Damn it. I could play up to 6,900? All right, let's see if Aaron Rye makes this work out. He probably does, honestly. He doesn't. Okay, it's not Aaron Rye. He's not the answer. Actually, let me just clear out everybody. Maybe the answer's in here somewhere. We'll clear those all out and see if we can find McCarthy. Okay. Denny McCarthy makes it work out. I bet you Hoagie also makes it work out. I should probably bring back Hoagie. There you go, Jake Knapp. Mav McNeely, Nick Taylor, and Jake Knapp. Yep. Thank you. I'm going to kick out Nick Taylor now. Bring back Knapp. Just want to see other lineups I can possibly build. Woodland. Yeah, of course. Scheffler, Fleetwood, Finau, McNeely, Woodland, Knapp. Love it. Then it breaks. Good to know. Good to know. All right. Now we make it really complicating for the optimizer, and I'm going to put in Spieth, Fleetwood, Scheffler. And I'm going to open it up to Hoagie, because I bet you Hoagie works. We can bring Ben Griffin open. Hadwin probably makes it work also. So let's see what we can do. Rose and Hoagie with Spieth, Wyndham, Clark. Okay. Shoot. I'm going to kick out Hoagie and just see... Because it literally can pick anybody in the 6K range. Like, anybody less than 6,400 is fine. Rye and then Adam Hadwin. Okay, that one's fine also. Adam Hadwin just got the boot. Keegan Bradley, Justin Rose, Jake Knapp. There we go. Hell yeah. Yeah, I like these lineups. I'm gonna get very narrow, it looks like. Okay, actually, let's see what happens without Jake Knapp. I hope it picks Kevin Yu. It does. Okay. With Akshay in there. I'm gonna kick out Rye. I'm gonna bring back I'm gonna bring back Kevin Yu, Hadwin, and Knapp. Probably bring back Seamus Power. That would probably work as well. Don't think I've saved that one. Adam Hadwin's gonna get the boot now. There's the Knapper. And does it break? Doesn't. Gives me Glover and Rose. Yeah, that one's actually a really good lineup. I mean, I'm liking all of these lineups that I've just built with Scotty and Fleetwood. How many are those? That's 18. 2 more and I can max enter a contest just using everything that I've been building. Ricky Fowler and Justin Rose? Sure. Why not? Just to make it different. Austin Eckroat, I don't really care for. Billy Horschel and Kevin Yu, sure. Just to be different. Akshay being the main consistent one there. I could probably kick out. Okay. I'm going to build a couple more. I'm just way over the moon about building these lineups. Bradley's available, McNeely's available, and then the other guys are kicked out. Batia and Clark? No, Clark is still available. All right, so I'm going to bring back Hoagie, Knapp, Adwin and you. I'll bring back Seamus Power. I'll bring back Matt Hughes. That's fine. Michael Kim can come back also. Glover, Nick Taylor, Woodland. I'm going to keep Rye out. I don't want Rye. Okay, let's see what we can do. I mean, I could probably build a ton of lineups now. Clark, Hoagie, Mac Hughes. Love it. I'm going to kick out Mac Hughes. Scheffler, Fleetwood, Spieth, Clark, Rose, and Hoagie. We already saved that one, so I'm going to kick out Hoagie. I'm not a huge fan of Hoagie. I think he's struggling with his just ball striking, so I don't want that, but you can also just get different, and it would work out. Ben Griffin and Adam Hadwin. The Knapper. I'll bring back Adwin and Knapp. Here's something different. Kim and Power. I like these lineups too much. McNeely, Ben Griffin, Kevin Yu. Did we already save that one? Nope. Jeez. I honestly didn't think you could build lineups like this. All right, so Kevin Yu, Knapp, Adwin. Yeah, I don't know. What haven't I seen yet? We've seen that one already. So let me kick out Ben Griffin. Because I bet you anything you can build a ton of different lineups with like a Hadwin or Knapp type of combo. Yeah, just like this. So Shamo's getting the boot. I figured that would be another lineup that could be built. Hadwin and Knapp. 2 min 6Ks. Okay. That's crazy. Last thing I want to check. McIlroy, Oberg. And then we'll see. It's going to choose one of those 7Ks that I'm looking for. It brings in Russell Henley. Okay. These would be anti-Scotty lineups. Because I actually really do like the idea of Rory with Oberg. And then you put in Day, Batia. Yeah, that's fine. So much Aaron Rye, man. I just don't. The optimizer is either going to get me with Rye, Cam Young, or Adam Scott, or Thomas Dietrich. Those 4 golfers. Yeah, here's Cam Young and Batia with McNeil. That's fine. 10, 9, 3 7s, and a 6. That works out. That we've seen that optimal lineup being built before. Russ Henley, Mav McNeely, Taylor, and Eric Cole. I don't care for Eric Cole this week. Too much golf. J-Day, McNeely, Woodland, and Hughes. Sure. I will kick out Hughes, though. McIlroy, Oberg, Sam Burns, McNeely, Batia, Adam Hadwin. Yeah, sure. Sign me up. I'm going to kick out Batia. And just see now if it'll give me more Wyndham Clark. Actually, you know what? I might just lock in. I'm going to go do that. I'm going to lock in Wyndham Clark. I definitely want to see Wyndham Clark lineups. And then I guess I don't care what 8K golfer gets chosen. It would be nice to see Jordan Spieth, honestly. Don't care for Danny List or Sam Stevens. I should have kicked out Sam Stevens. It breaks. Huh. Bummer. Bummer, bro. Why? Huh. Weird. So you needed Mac Hughes, huh? Take a look. Mac Hughes gives you what? Recent form 3, I guess. I bet you anything we need one of them. Nope. Just breaks. I'm not going to try to figure it out. It's too late. Too late, but I can't do what I want to do. Yeah, Wyndham Clark, not very great with Rory and McIlroy. Or Rory and Oberg. How about Keegan Bradley? Does not lineups I care for. Okay, I think this is it. I went way too long, but I was interested. Almost 4 hours. We're getting back up there. And it breaks anyways. Okay. So McIlroy Oberg lineups, not super great with the rules that I had in there. Let's see if I can get any Scheffler Oberg lineups. Yeah. Solid ones. 10-9, 7-7, 6-6. Let's see what else I can do. Yeah, AJ, I'll see you tomorrow. 2 Canadians, Nick Taylor and Hadwin. Yeah, okay. This is something to look at tomorrow. All right. Yeah, that's going to be it for me. Hope you all enjoyed the stream. Appreciate y'all being here. Thank you. Leave a like on your way out. Subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.